Good morning, welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for August 3rd, 2019.
Today on the show we talk Outer Worlds.
Ryan Reynolds is up to no good again, we'll tell you what.
Nintendo Online is offering something new.
And we're going to catch up on Marvel Cinematic Universe from San Diego Comic-Con.
Stay tuned! Hello, everybody. Oof,
We're elevated.
you're elevated. There, less elevated.
You need to scooch in a little this way, I think. Or, forced perspective. Forced perspective.
I remember when we started doing all of this stuff, and someone at university, Andreas, was talking about it, and he was like news people have to sit a lot closer than you actually see on TV. Just because of the perspective of everything, and it's like, yes, yeah, you pretty much have to. You get very close to cuddle if you want to actually appear somewhat close to each other. Yeah, it's like I put deodorant on, I brush my teeth.
Math is hard. Yeah, math is really hard. I had cereal too after breakfast.
Yeah, I know.
After I brushed.
I brush my teeth, and then I'm like, now I'm having coffee and Raisin Bran. So this is
I know. I used to do that the other way around when I was a kid. Like I would eat breakfast and then.
Yeah, me too. But once I'm up and putting deodorant on to get dressed, I'm like, I'm already in here. I'll brush my teeth.
Do you guys not have breakfast in bed?
No. Well, actually, it depends on the other day. I had 4 pieces of toast and went back to bed. I woke up. I'm like, all right. I went and had breakfast.
You do love your bread.
I know, but I had like 4 pieces of peanut butter toast. I had a glass of milk. I'm like, all right. And then I went to watch something in bed because I'm like, whatever. And I fell asleep till 11. My dad calls me and he's like, so we should have dinner sometime. And I'm like, yeah, we should. And he's like, so like, why didn't you answer the phone? Like, were you on the toilet? And I'm like, no, I was sleeping. And he's like, good for you.
Good for you.
Either way, let's get into the news.
Let's jump right into the thick of it all.
Outer Worlds is coming to Switch.
Yes.
Kind of surprise announcement.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, The Witcher was also a surprise announcement.
That's true.
Yeah.
The Witcher was also a surprise announcement coming to the Switch.
Yep.
I think that's going to be more difficult than Outer Worlds, to be honest.
Me too. Outer Worlds is more stylistic, so
yes.
I think
it's stylistic. It's still in development.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they can still tweak on it.
Yeah.
Whereas The Witcher 3, it's just junk.
Yeah.
It's a massive game.
It's a huge.
GG.
It's a beautiful game.
I'm excited to see how it looks on the Switch.
They've done the
know.
comparison stuff, and
It's not completed yet though, so it's hard to say.
But from what they've shown us already, it's like it's not.
To be fair, the original Witcher 3, it was amazing.
Yes.
But it was more just like the scope of everything. Character models and stuff weren't
We're
like.
still.
Yeah, it was still.
Yeah. Well, and it depends. If you played on like a tank of a computer,
Yes.
you could crank that thing to like,
Yes.
especially
you
with
could
like,
melt your video
the
card.
second or third DLC, not DLC, but
Oh,
like
the color one.
Yeah, whatever one where there was like
Oh.
rainbows and unicorns and like everything
Everything was
bright,
green.
vibrant colors.
and
Yeah,
it was.
like that was gorgeous, and you're just like, my computer.
I wish I had an HDR monitor right now for this. But Outer Worlds, it's coming to Switch. Add that to another list of games coming to the Switch. That weirdly enough is.
Well, it's funny because EA just announced that like no one plays their games,
Surprise.
and so on the Switch, so that's why they're not doing anything. Like they're not developing for the Switch because no one plays their games on the Switch, and it's like, well, maybe if you didn't make lackluster versions of your games, we'd play them.
Yeah, FIFA was a real garbagey game.
Well, and that was like their first big outing, and it's like FIFA, which makes them 10%, 12% of their overall earnings, and it's like, and you screwed the pooch with FIFA.
To be honest, like there's no there. When you think of EA as well, like what games do they make would they work on the Switch? Like Anthem obviously wouldn't. That's a wildly different game.
Wildly different.
Battlefront or Battlefield's a little bit crazy. I don't think that they could put a Battlefield on the Switch. Same thing with Star Wars
I
Battlefront.
think they could do a Battlefield. It would just have to be specifically for the Switch.
yeah.
Like, you can't do Battlefield 1 on the Switch.
No. Or anything that involves, over 50 players.
Yes. Like, or the Frostbite engine, obviously. But the Frostbite engine's a piece of junk anyways from everything we've heard from every developer ever.
Yeah.
EA's been pretty quiet lately, too.
They just had a profits earning thing. Yeah.
Like, they're not doing much.
No. Well, other than, like, the EA Access Pass thing came out on the PlayStation. So
Yes.
I got myself that, which I'll talk about in the post-credit show, because I've played a stupid amount of games thanks to that now. For $30 a year, like, I looked at the list of games and went, yeah,
I'll play that.
I'll play that.
I'm still pretty satisfied with the Xbox One.
Yes.
Oh, the Xbox Game Pass for
I
sure.
love that.
And thus where I'm going to try Outer Worlds, and depending on the Switch version of it, like if it's a decent enough game, then yeah, I'm getting it for the Switch.
Yeah.
Like if it's a good game on PC, and then the Switch version is fairly close.
If it's competent enough, it's not.
And I'm not expecting the same, because you can't.
And
that's the same thing, like the people with The Witcher, like the Witcher subreddit, totally stoked, because they're like, oh my god, like portable Witcher.
Portable Witcher.
Like that's how they're looking at it.
Yeah.
And then like r/gaming people were, well, it's not going to look as good. And all the Witcher people are like, well,
you show me the place on the Switch where you can put a 1080 or 1080 Ti.
Yeah, it's like there's a thing
video
that plugs
card
into the bottom.
You just sell I had 1080 Ti onto a Switch.
But like that's people like the Witcher people are stoked because to them it's Witcher on the go. It's the same as Doom.
Yeah.
Like
Doom,
you can't expect Doom to be as graphically cool as you're going to get on anything else, but you can play it while camping or.
I'm actually surprised there's no Call of Duty on the Switch yet.
I'm
very surprised, especially Battlefield or Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
The one the multiplayer
the remaster.
one.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4.
Like I'm surprised Black Ops 4 didn't make it onto the Switch in some form.
In some form, and it honestly can do things. You just have to. I'm cool with my games not looking as pretty on the Switch.
But yeah, as long as you're going with that expectation, then
Yeah. Like I'm not expecting my PS4 version of graphics to hit the Switch. That's
you don't want Spider-Man on the Switch.
I'd love it on the Switch, but
it would also run like complete portion.
It's not going to look the same.
No,
it can't.
It will chug.
Yeah.
As soon as you start web swinging.
Yeah.
It will.
I have to load this entire city with like the Switch version. I was just playing Spider-Man, so like when you swing by the buildings, they built the weird interiors to the like buildings, like you can see.
I love looking at those interiors.
But that's what I mean, like, and they're fairly basic. So as long as you're swinging by, or you're running by them, or you're crawling up a building, it's like, oh, it adds that depth into the game.
Yeah.
On a Switch version, that wouldn't be there.
No.
And that wouldn't take away from the game.
No. But like, it's just the processing ability.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to expect it, and that's just.
And the speed is the big piece, because Witcher is, with The Witcher and presumably Outer Worlds will be a different speed than something like Spider-Man would be. Like, it's a little bit more faster, a little more manic.
Yeah, there's ways to play with that. Like I always look at, I still look at Breath of the Wild as a good benchmark for a lot of things. If Breath of the Wild can do that kind of stuff, like, you know, and obviously The Witcher too. Like it's going to be
interesting to see. And of course, the Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is out in October.
Yeah.
End of October.
My computer will
Our computers have pre-installed.
Yes, our computers have all pre-installed it. Yeah. So there's like a 10 megabyte file on our systems. It's essentially okay, when the game comes out for pre-install, install
it.
Thanks to Microsoft Game Pass, which is cool though. Like we're getting Outer Worlds
for free.
Well, day one.
Yeah,
for free.
Quote unquote free.
Like
you're renting it, an extended rental.
And my thing. So that was my thing with the EA Access thing. Was for $30. When Blockbuster was in its like final days.
Yeah.
Video game rentals were $10 for the week. So I looked at EA Access as $30 for the year. That's 3 weeks worth of renting a game. Well, if I play half the games on that list, like I've more than made up my cash.
Oh yeah.
Like all I have to do is play 3 games, and it's like okay. Yeah. I don't know how EA's making.
I don't know how Microsoft's making money.
I don't know how Microsoft.
I don't know how money works.
No.
I don't know how profit is in these kind of things. Maybe we're just old.
I don't know, and maybe it's just the you aim for bulk.
Yeah.
Like
Bulk people, and that's how you
yeah.
make your money and stuff.
And I don't know how that maybe that's why Outworld is coming to the Switch now. They want to make sure more people pay for the game full out, right?
Yep. Yeah. I see, and my big thing to it is what was I playing, and then I'm like, oh, there's DLC for it. But it's like EA Access doesn't have the DLC; it just has like the base game, and I'm like,
my Forza's like that too. Forza Horizon, it's
Yeah.
very much like you can just get the base game.
and like EA Access, I understand because everything's older, and then if you want the newer stuff, you pay. Like, but you get 10% off or whatever. Like they're like, okay, you're paying us already, so take a little discount, get Madden 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need Madden 20. I got Madden 19 for my $30 a year. Although I already bought Madden 19, so whatever. But I have it in that system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all their older games, and then I think they're banking on you going like The Sims is on there.
The Sims 4, yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course.
That's gonna get a lot of people.
Oh, it's free to start, and then like we did, you're
You
like,
get all
oh, let's just start buying DLC
all
when it's
the
on sale.
expansions,
Yeah.
I mean that's what my wife does. She's huge onto The Sims, and
Well, when we were doing the Let's Play stuff, which we haven't done in forever because busy, but
science.
yeah, it's one of those things where it was on sale the one day, and I'm like, Brian, we've been doing this enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Let's go for it.
Boom!
And that's like the way you buy those packs is you wait until they're on sale.
They were all on sale.
And that happens like every 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
From my experience.
Yeah.
But we got the base game for almost nothing.
Yeah.
And then I spent $200 in DLC. Well, that's how EA Access is making their money.
Yes,
And still,
yeah.
and I guess Microsoft Game Pass too, if the DLC's not available with
Or
the
if it's
game.
like the regular edition and you want the Ultimate Edition.
Right.
Like Gears will be like Gears 4 is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's just the base game, but you
I think
can
Arc
pay.
is like that.
Yeah. And Gears 5 will definitely be like that too.
Oh yeah.
Either way,
Awesome. Yeah. Exciting.
yes. Let's stick with Nintendo, and then we'll bundle Marvel and that too.
So, Nintendo
Yes.
is doing free trials now for Nintendo Switch Online members. So you can basically, is it 2 weeks? You can basically, and it's only a select amount of games.
Yeah.
Right now, it's only one.
Mark.
Mario Tennis.
Aces.
Mario Tennis Aces. In Japan, I think they also have Captain Toad.
Woo.
Well, Captain Toad's Treasure
Yes,
Tracker.
Treasure Tracker.
And so you get like a week.
Yep.
To play these games for free. Well, again, free.
It's free.
It's free, but
Well,
you still have to
with
play
the
it.
monthly, yeah.
So you're paying to get that, and then you just play the game for free for a month.
I
Or
got
a week, sorry, for a week. And
for a
then,
week. With the Nintendo Online, like I bought those certificates that they were
Oh,
the 2 for
Oh,
two
yeah.
for, so you get $10 off a game or
Yeah,
whatever.
yes.
I've bought 2 of them.
So you have four tickets.
Well, I have 1 ticket left because
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot what I'm like, oh, I want this game, and it was on the list of games with that ticket thing, and I'm like, Oh, okay.
Pokemon's on that list.
well, so I looked at the rest of the games, and I'm like, all right, and that's how I ended up with Mario Tennis. Was like, I'm like, I have this ticket,
Yeah.
and it's a good multiplayer game, and I do like multiplayer games on my Switch,
Yeah.
so I bought that, and then Marvel Ultimate Alliance was on the list,
Oh, perfect.
and so was Link's Awakening.
Oh.
So I'm like, well, so I'm sitting there like,
So you can actually you have it purchased already then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just waiting for the download. Cool.
so now I'm just waiting for Link's Awakening to come out, and then I hit a button that says redeem the thing.
Yeah.
Like I already redeemed it while I was away for Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like I was telling the guys the other night, maybe just Chris. The game came out, and the one campsite we were at, because I've been camping, we went to do laundry. Were you?
Yeah, I was
okay,
there.
you were
I was
there.
there.
Yeah, because Chris didn't hear laundry.
Yeah, he heard.
I don't know what he
you
heard.
went to do.
I don't know. Either way, I'm like, but in the laundry
It was
place.
clearly laundry.
Thank you. I don't know. It's tough to say over mics every once
Yes,
in a while.
yeah, that's true.
And I know I don't pronounce everything perfectly, but they had Wi-Fi in like the main hub area of the campground.
That's always weird to me, but okay, yeah.
They had it all over the campground, but you had to pay for it.
Oh.
If you wanted high speed, you had to pay.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I'm like, well, okay, I got into the eShop fast enough. Like the Wi-Fi actually had decent speed. Like I was downloading movies on my tablet, sort of thing, at a decent clip. So I'm like, all right, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. While we're doing laundry, it's like 2 hours because the washing thing goes for an hour and then the dryer goes for an hour. So I got 2 hours to kill. And I think I still had 2 hours left on my download before we left. So I got back to the campsite and I'm like, well, let's see how much internet. $7 for like high speed internet.
Okay.
So it downloaded after that in like half an hour
Oh.
Nice.
in the tent, plugged into like the extension cord that was running through the tent sort of thing. And I'm like, all right, at least I have that game. But I bought that with one of those tickets. So this is just another feature they're starting to add. It's still not as
They're
good
playing
as,
catch up to Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, it's
yeah.
still not as good as 2 free games a month or whatever. Like Xbox does 2 or 3 games, PlayStation does 2 games.
I mean, you still get your retro game.
We still get our
Yeah,
retro,
retro
games
games.
until Super Nintendo comes out on that.
And then you're paying another fee. I bet you will pay another
if
fee.
Super Nintendo comes
Yes.
out, I don't know. We'll see.
I bet you they'll be like, this is the Nintendo Online Premium service. Was it not already the premium service?
We were already doing that.
Eventually they'll have like silver,
Sup-
gold,
Super.
platinum,
No,
diamond.
they'll call it the Super Nintendo Online service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Online Service 64.
Sold.
But yeah, it's a cool way to do this, especially for a game like Mario Tennis Aces, which is very...
And in Japan, like I said, they had the Captain Toadstool's Treasure Tracker as their free game.
I have that game on my Wii U.
So
It is a decent puzzle game.
it is a game. Yeah.
I would not pay an exorbitant amount of money for that game.
I think it's like $50, 40 bucks.
$40 maybe.
40, 50 bucks.
Yeah,
something
I would
like
not pay more than $40 for that game. But yeah, but tennis is, it's like I said, it's a good multiplayer game.
that. Yes.
If you go through the store, you unlock all of the
And now here's the nice,
Courts and
and just like the Microsoft and the Sony thing,
your save carries.
your save carries over. So if you do end up wanting to purchase the game,
Yeah.
you can just
At the end of the
just-
week, it's like, and deleted from your system completely. And it's like,
Oh,
No.
I thought I had cloud saves. Oh, that's cute.
yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
But yeah, it's if you play the single player mode, you unlock all of the different courts.
Mhm.
And the cool thing about Aces is, like, we played the one on a boat, and it actually has the mast in the middle.
Mhm.
That is it. The ball can hit it, so you can use the mast as
Yeah,
like
it's
a
an obstacle-y kind of like.
Deflect and
Yeah, I've seen.
yeah.
I've
So
seen
there's
that.
obstacles that you can get in specific maps that you can turn on or off in multiplayer, but you do have to beat them in single player mode first.
Mhm.
And then the online tournament stuff unlocks alternate costumes for people,
Mhm.
which are actually easy enough to place in. Like, I played one, going like, oh, okay, I'm never gonna get,
So-
this
this
thing. As long as you just play, you're cool. It's not like you have to come in the top 100 people playing tennis.
it's not like Fortnite.
It's not like Fortnite. But I think, honestly, with
Tetris Online.
Tennis-
Tetris 99.
tennis is a good game for this one, like Mario Tennis, because not a lot of people bought into it, because it's like,
Well, I think they fell short of what expectations were.
And then they updated it to the point where it's, like even they put in new game modes where when it first came out, you could only play like a set, and then it was done.
It was done.
Like multiplayer was done after a set, and you're going, well, that's
No,
not.
I want rematch.
Well, I want
more.
I want a game. Like, you're finally getting into the swing of things, and it's like, oh, Brian won. You're like, oh, fine. I guess rematch, and then just keep going. Now they're just like, okay, you can play 6 sets. Like, you can play a full match.
Mhm.
So.
Well, it took them a while.
It did. It took them a while.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, it is.
But then they've continually added stuff like
Yeah.
new costumes and new characters.
Well, new characters is the big piece because they keep adding new characters.
They're done.
Yeah.
They just. I thought they were still doing more.
Dry Bowser's is the
Those
last
Dry
one.
Bowser's. Okay. The season of Mario Tennis is over.
It's
Yes,
over.
all
Mario
the
Tennis.
seasons of. I can't believe Fortnite's on season 10. I feel
I
like
know.
that's just rocketing through seasons.
I feel like
How does the season work?
They've come up with a really basic storyline for
And
something happening.
And what's the timeline? Like 2
I
weeks?
have no idea.
I think it's like it honestly feels like a month.
Yeah,
And
like
it's
every
probably
month they have it.
it's probably 2 months. Like I'm probably
How many
I don't
years has it
understand.
been out now?
Because
2.
Has that single player even come out yet?
No,
yeah,
What's
no.
single player?
What's a single player?
it's out, but it was supposed to be free,
Oh, really?
so it's not out.
Guess what came? Guess what became free play?
Guess
though?
what became
Yeah.
Fortnite?
That's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, you mean that game where we were supposed to be able to build fortresses to
A fort!
a fort,
Yeah, a fort?
to defend ourselves against waves of zombies?
I remember when they first revealed Fortnite, like
I was
like,
stoked.
first
Yeah.
revealed, where it was like, this game, what is this game even? There was no footage of it.
Yeah.
There was like broken screenshots, there's this low resolution video.
Well,
of,
and even the
like,
trailer was very basic of like
Yeah.
they're building things,
and then shooting.
shooting zombies
waves
and
of zombies.
Yeah.
monsters, and it's like, oh, this seems alright.
Seems
I don't know why
cool.
it's taking so long to come out, but alright.
It's because they're making a battle royale version, baby. There was a thing I was on the PlayStation store yesterday, just looking at stuff. Monster Hunter World's on sale,
Mhm.
and I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
But there was like a trailer at the top of the store where if I didn't move like my cursor long enough, it would just autoplay.
Oh,
Cool.
And I'm like, that's handy. Thanks, PlayStation. But it was for some game with a werewolf, and I'm like, well, I'm intrigued. And then it was free to play, and I'm like, I'm even more intrigued. And then it's like Battle Royale, and I'm like, I'm not
not
intrigued.
intrigued.
I think the season, that game mode has come and gone.
Yeah.
I don't
Unless-
mind it,
unless you're-
people who are like
Unless you're
hardcore
PUBG,
fans.
unless you're PUBG or Fortnite.
I don't mind it being added into games that are like Battlefield 5.
I want to try
Ring of Fire.
I want
is
to try
totally
the Black Ops 4 one. That one looks like a lot of fun.
But like the Ring of Fire one in Black Ops 5, or not Black Ops, Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
I thought was a really cool addition to the game. Like you can still play Battlefield 5, regular maps, objective based,
Yep.
King of the Hill type stuff. Or you can just drop in as a crew, like parachutes with a ring of legit fire, like slowly moving in on you, and do the Battle Royale thing. And they're single player.
Yeah.
Like Battlefield 5 is that complete package of a game.
I'm interested to see what they do for Modern Warfare, if they're gonna do
Well, for the Modern Warfare.
reboot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If they cater to that, because the multiplayer reveal was earlier this week and it looked.
Yeah, open beta's
Oh
out.
my god!
We can all play it if we want to.
Or if we should just give them money.
Or just well, I'll wait for all
I'll
this
wait.
stuff to come through. But yeah, so yeah, you can try out Mario Tennis Aces. It's
If you're an online member.
a fun game, but again, it's one of those games where I prefer playing with people.
Couch. You need to be in a couch.
Yeah, couch and
I don't believe in that online service still. I still don't believe it. I'm worried about Sword and Shield. I'm worried on how it's gonna affect Sword and Shield.
online.
No cloud saves.
It's because you could cheat.
But that's not.
I get it.
There's
I'm
so
with
many
you.
ways they get around that on the 3DS.
Well, there's gonna be people cheating anyways. That's what
Yeah.
bugs me. Is like
Yeah, no matter what, someone will find a way.
Yeah.
yes, that's like you can install
But you
Android
can't-
on your
Switch now.
Switch now.
Which is awesome. I saw that.
Oh.
Like people have found their way, even though Nintendo's done everything they can to stop the homebrew
They can't.
community from breaking in. It's like,
It's because of all those old Switches. They all
Yeah.
have the same hardware flaw.
yeah, but it's like, why stop them? Who cares?
They have to.
They have to, but really, like
They
in the
have
long
to.
run,
Like in regards to like shareholders and
Yes.
we need to
Oh,
make sure
yeah.
we make money. But these people aren't buying our game, so we're not making money.
they're not gonna buy your game anyways. Like that's the piece is people who are gonna break into stuff in like for video games aren't paying for those games regardless. Like you're not losing money.
Mhm.
Like if I'm gonna pirate something,
Yeah.
you're not seeing my money. Like that's how it used to be anyways.
Yeah.
So the game demo thing is a good way of getting around a lot of that.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
Try out our stuff and
It's always been a good way.
Yeah.
But it just sucks that their service is just great.
woo.
It's I watched somebody play Super Mario Maker 2 online
Oh yeah.
multiplaer. It was like watching a PowerPoint.
Hello.
It was a PowerPoint presentation.
It's a PowerPoint.
Oh really?
It was bad. It was, and then he just ended up getting disconnected.
Oh no.
Okay,
like
you gotta
10
stop.
seconds into the stage.
I know. Uncle Brian's over there. You can't see him right now.
Oh, and I still think it's wildly crazy that you can't play that mode with friends.
Online,
Yeah,
they're
why
working
is
on
that?
it. They're working on it.
Working on it is one thing. Launching with it is a different other thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't think people would want to do that.
Or what is that? I keep ranting about what the Nintendo Switch friends list is for.
If we have to put an extra code, yes.
I don't get it.
Nintendo.
Like
doesn't
if I'm
allow
already
it
friends with you
online.
guys on the Switch, why do I need to re-add you guys on Super Mario Maker? The one game that just meant for sharing things.
I would totally see, and I would understand it if the Switch didn't tell me you guys were online.
I don't care. I don't care about that.
Well, no, but like I would completely understand it if it's like, okay, I only want them to know I'm online if I'm playing like Splatoon or.
It's not like there's even any messaging stuff unless you use the stupid phone app.
Yeah, I know, but like if I'm playing specific, like I'd understand it if in Mario Maker it's like, hey, I add you as a friend. That way, if I'm playing Mario Maker, you know I'm playing Mario Maker, and it's like, okay, now it's notified and we can be friends. But it already tells you, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Nick's online playing, playing something stupid. Like
Xenoblade or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Zelda or something.
Yeah, like Nick's
Mario,
playing,
He's playing something else already.
Yeah,
So
he's
it's like,
already playing something, and it's like, okay. But even online.
Why it's tie the profile
Yeah,
to the friends list, and then, so I only have to follow one friend. It's so dumb.
They don't know what they're doing.
It's so dumb.
You gotta confirm that we're friends, you know?
I don't get it. I just don't get it. So, moving on from rants and raves. I will always rave about that. It will never be good. Ryan Reynolds came out earlier this week. He posted in a pretty innocuous picture to his Instagram. Did you see this?
I think I've seen this.
So, basically, he has this this board with like all these like wires going back and forth.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's still trying to find out who leaked the Deadpool footage years ago. And so he's got the picture of that. He's got like strings going to all these different people. And on the top of the board, he's got a big fat. It's like a phase 5 of my investigation is coming up now, guys. And so it's sort of like is it really a phase 5 of investigation, or are you just subtly telling us that Deadpool is coming in phase 5 for the MCU?
This one.
Yes, that's the one. who leaked the Deadpool footage? Coming up in my phase 5 of my investigation, or something like that. Yeah. And I'm just like, we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Already, we clearly know that it's not gonna happen in phase 4, which is fine.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh my god, he's trolling us outside of the MCU still. And it's just...
He's the perfect Deadpool.
He is Deadpool.
He is Deadpool.
He is very much Deadpool. I'm going to pull up that board here. I totally don't remember the details on it, but it was just like, really?
Yeah, you see like Hugh Jackman's face on there.
What am I looking for? Ryan
Van City Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds. No. Very different person.
Like Betty White's on there, and
Ryan Reynolds Instagram. Let's find out here. Van City Reynolds. He's got a lot of things he posts.
So is that a hint at him coming in phase 5?
Realistically, we know that's happening.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige hasn't shied away from it. Bob Iger has very much been like, yeah, we will keep Deadpool who he is.
Yeah.
We are not going to change Deadpool.
Yeah. But it'll have to come when they acknowledge mutants.
Yes.
So.
I honestly don't even think they need to acknowledge mutants. I think they just need to just do it. They could just do it. Like, now Deadpool's here. Like, he would be the one character to pull off, like, I am now here, guys.
Yeah.
What's up?
Ta-da!
I finally joined you guys. The ink's finally dried on that deal, I guess. So yes, who leaked the Deadpool footage is now moving into Ryan Reynolds' phase 5 of investigation. I think that's like the most clever way to acknowledge that, but also talk about how this all began.
Yeah.
How this... I still love that story of like, who leaked it? We'll never know.
We'll never know.
And it's like they've actually had that art discussion like between them. Like I bet you they know.
Oh yeah.
That's like between Ryan Reynolds, Tim Miller, and like another one of the writers.
Yeah.
It was one of those three apparently who leaked this footage.
It was all of them.
It was all the plot twist. It was
plot
actually
twist.
All of them. Plot twist. It was Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
He's in his 5th year of investigation, though.
Phase 5.
His 5th phase. Well, and I like how one of the first comments is like, "Oh my God, Deadpool phase 5," and he's like, "Guys, I'm just telling you how excited I am that I'm in my 5th year of investigating." That's all.
I don't know what you're talking
I don't know
about.
what you're talking about. I'm just.
What's MCU?
Yeah, right. Like he was very like.
What is MCU?
What?
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
How are you guys getting this information?
You need to send PM.
Why would you conclude? Why would you come to that conclusion?
I'm PMing you right now. PM.
Yeah, it was very. Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm hopeful.
He has fun. He has fun.
He has fun.
He has a lot of fun with it, and I'm hoping that that's the thing that brings Deadpool at least into the MCU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that Ryan Reynolds does such a good job with it,
Yeah.
and putting out the Christmas version of Deadpool, the PG-13 one, was a good move on their part.
I
Going,
think so.
we can
still
make this movie.
Just no F words or no decapitations.
Right, like we'll
Yeah.
take all of the R-rated stuff out, and
I
it can
should-
still be a decent film.
I still want to watch that. I haven't seen it yet.
I
I
haven't
still
seen
haven't
it
seen
either,
it
but I
either.
heard good enough stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
not like people were like,
It wasn't-
oh,
it wasn't-
destroys the film.
Yeah, and it didn't like light up the billboards or anything, but it was enough to.
Well,
be,
because
like,
it was a very limited release.
It was limited release. It was
around Christmas,
right around Christmas, where
Yeah.
other movies were coming out too. So
and people had already seen it. Like it's not like oh, I'm going back to see Deadpool,
Deadpool
2,
2.
or like Endgame, where people were like,
I'm seeing it for 20 times in
Yeah.
a row.
like I must see Endgame again, especially a 3.5-hour film,
Yeah.
because you're like, I missed 100 things. Some of the stuff people missed online, now that it's out digitally, they're like, oh, I never caught it.
I caught that Marvel thing in the very beginning, like the second the movie
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is missing.
Yeah,
Falcon's
Yeah.
missing.
like they
Like,
took all the
it's
people
like,
out.
that was like I thought that was really clear.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. People are catching stuff online
I
right
thought
now.
that
Like the
was quite-
subreddits are all like, "Oh my god, I didn't notice this the first time," and I'm like,
I
Like
don't. I
movie details. It's like
there was one person that didn't notice Thanos take the Power Stone out of the
And
glove
smash.
to punch.
Seriously?
You didn't notice that?
To punch.
But
yeah.
I thought that was pretty well. Like he can't headbutt her.
well,
so
yeah.
just. Boom.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I didn't see him take the stone out because it was just such a like quick move, and it's like, no, they visibly showed him grab, pull, because it takes a little bit of force to like
Well,
unsocket that sucker.
Yeah.
But also gave him a reason to do it too.
And then his
Like-
hand glowed as he wound back.
Yeah.
Her face went whoop,
Whoa.
and
Yeah.
bam.
Because they established that it wasn't going to work normally.
Yeah,
So it's like, what else is he going to do? Oh, right, he's got all of them.
but I'm like, they're like, yeah, I've seen this movie 6 times and I just noticed that. And I'm like, you clearly
Are you
slept through a large portion of
of
that
this movie.
film.
You
Like,
were
there's
not paying
some-
attention.
There's some subtle things where you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But something like that, or yeah, the MCU thing with the characters missing, we've seen that how many times with those
Yeah,
characters,
yeah.
and then it's like, something's off.
Oh, right!
Oh.
Right, because half of them don't...
Especially the movie before doing the Stan Lee stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
This
yes.
one was very much the like, okay, we're getting the regular one.
But
No,
are
Why
we
are
though?
people missing?
This is something... This is
Where's
something-
Spider-Man?
Where's Falcon?
Where's Falcon?
Where's Doctor Strange? That's clearly the sanctums in that
Right.
back shot,
So,
which was very well edited.
they did a
Oh, yeah.
spectacular job. Yeah.
So, yeah, so Ryan Reynolds is in his 5th phase of investigation of who leaked the Deadpool trailer footage.
Speaking of phases,
Yeah.
So San Diego Comic-Con happened.
yes.
We talked about the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, which is awesome. But obviously we are here to talk about a little bit more. The Phase 4.
Phase 4.
Phase 4.
They announced, literally, they did the same thing they did last time around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they gave us the big.
They did the big timeline thing and
Yeah.
all the untitled stuff, and then started revealing them here and
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
and forth. So let's just begin with the first of it.
Nope, that's
Nope.
not the right
No,
one.
that's not. It's Super Nog.
This one.
I don't know if that's in that right order though.
Nope. This one?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the one.
No. Well, other than that, but
Well, confirmed. That's why there's no date. And then
Yeah.
one.
okay. So the first things first. The Black Widow movie.
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
It is a real thing. It's not just a bunch of like leaked footage from like them filming it. It's not like they're filming it already.
Tis real.
Well-
It is real.
And we had this discussion. We were playing Call of Duty the other night, and Chris had said something like, well, like I think it was an IGN poll. Black Widow is the like least anticipated thing of Phase 4.
Yeah.
I think
And to me, I'm like, well, because it's up against Eternals and Shang-Chi
WandaVision,
and
Thor.
Doctor Strange, Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, duh.
Yeah.
If I'm voting,
it's
Thor
very-
wins.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm
Close to a Doctor Strange,
I'm Doctor
'cause
Strange. I'm Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange.
I am totally stoked to see what that does.
So, but yeah, Black Widow's coming out. I think they've also answered when in the timeline.
Yes.
It is post Civil War, pre Infinity War.
Yes.
So it is a
Somewhat
period
between.
piece, but not really a period piece.
Yeah, it's not like we're going back to
It's not
early.
the baby Romanov.
Baby Romanov.
And there's more than one Black Widow.
Yes,
which
and
is awesome.
Which, if you've read the comics,
Yes,
if
there's
you've
more than
watched
one
the
Black
TV
Widow.
shows,
Yeah.
it is clearly established that
Yeah,
this
there's
is
more
a
than
thing.
one Black Widow.
Like, if you've watched Agent Carter,
It's like 007. It's a code name. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily a.
so if
one
you,
individual.
if you've watched the Agent Carter season 2, I know, like all 5 of us, it's not good. But a big story point of that is that the agents from, or the, what do they call them? I don't know.
Yep.
Whatever, agents for lack of a better term,
Yep.
are a big part of the story
Yeah.
of Agent Carter season 2. So, like that, when they announced that, I was like, oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
That like they've established that in the MCU at some point in time. You all just didn't watch it.
Well, and it's funny because Agent Carter's like the only television show they have at this point recognized
By the MCU
in the MCU
Yeah,
because
with
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
Was in
Yeah.
Endgame
for like 5 seconds.
for 5 seconds, but
and
it was
and
like
had a line. He had a speaking line too.
I know, but everybody was like, "Oh, it's."
I totally didn't think of that until
it's,
after the fact.
It's
yeah.
confirmed
It's
that like Agent Carter is at least connected.
Right.
Agents of Shield has not been
We-
acknowledged by
we-
the MCU
as
but
much. No.
Well,
at all.
Yeah. The last time it happened was.
Well, Agents of Shield has referenced
time-
the MCU.
Last time was Age of Ultron, officially,
Yes.
because they talked about where the helicarrier came from
Yes.
at the end of the film.
Yeah.
That came from Coulson.
Yeah, but they don't mention it in the movie as like.
It's-
like,
it's
oh yeah,
so-
Coulson got this for us, and all the Avengers are like.
Which is weird. It's super weird.
And that was always there's that rift between Kevin Feige and the TV guys.
And I think-
all of that.
I
jazz.
think with the season or the show finally coming to a close,
Yeah.
I was actually I was like a kind of like a pipe dream. I was kind of hoping one of these would be an Agents of Shield
movie.
movie,
Oh.
just to be like that would be the ultimate like like recognition finally, instead of just putting it a Disney show. It's
Yeah.
like an actual film.
Film.
And I think that would be really cool, but I don't think they're ready for that. Maybe Phase 5 stuff. Get on that, Ryan Reynolds. Investigate that.
David Harbour's in Black Widow.
Yep.
He plays the Russian version of Captain America.
We have Taskmaster.
Yeah.
He's officially Taskmaster in the film.
I'm stoked.
Oh, I'm so ready for Taskmaster.
Especially like if he dies, I'm gonna be so pissed.
He won't die. He'll die.
Because he's a good enough villain to come back to
He'll-
screw with someone else.
He'll
though.
die, but he won't actually die.
Yeah.
He'll fake his death.
Yeah.
He's the villain that will fake his own death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Loki.
Well, because he's such a fun villain. Because I forgot like the news came out, and we were camping, so the only person I had to like unload all of this news on was my poor wife. And I'm like, oh my god, Taskmaster, and she's like, just what does he do? Like
He looks at you and copies your moves.
and I'm like, as soon as he sees something, he can copy it. So the coolest part is like the heroes have to keep changing up how and what they do to beat him.
the only one that can consistently beat him is Deadpool.
Because Deadpool has no idea what he's doing.
Maybe Moon Knight.
But that's what I'm like, and she's like, well, that'll be interesting, and then I'm like, it's on top of like the Black Widow movie, which
That
is
makes
gonna
sense.
be cool in and of itself.
Yeah, like Taskmaster, as much as I like associate him with like a different hero's villain, he's more of like a Marvel villain.
Yeah, he's in everybody. He's he's really not in anyone's rogue
Like
gallery of
kind of
heroes.
I think of like more like Captain America maybe. More
I put him with
anything.
But he's showed up in Spider-Man. He's
Shows
showed up
Spider-
in every
Yeah, he copies everyone's moves.
He's an Avengers bad guy, really. Like he'll just show up to screw with people.
Yeah.
He's the perfect person to work with Doctor Doom.
But yeah, that's exciting. We have Black Widow, and
Black
then
Widow.
so this
Black
one
Widow.
goes up, down, up, down, up,
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
So
So-
then we get the Disney Plus show.
So the word of warning: a lot of these are Disney Plus shows, which I think is a good initiative on their part.
Oh, for
They
sure.
want to make sure
This
people
is-
sign
Oh
up.
yeah, yeah.
So the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes, which is going to explore the U.S. government not wanting
Wanting
Falcon
Falcon.
as the new Captain America.
That's the most appropriate.
way to be.
Yeah, that is the right way to, both in the political climate and in the MCU itself.
Yeah.
So subtle jab at the.
Well, especially
at the
now,
top.
it's like they're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we touched on like the the race tone of like black guy becoming Captain America?
Yeah.
It happened.
And then,
it happened in America.
Well, and then all of a sudden it's like they're partway through writing. They're done writing. Like he's doing costume fittings, and all of a sudden their president goes on some crazy rant about like
everything
about race, and it's like, oh, this is gonna fit really well
It's
now,
perfect.
and not on purpose.
They're soothsayers.
They've become the new Simpsons. Yeah, I'm.
Who's his name is back as Baron Zemo?
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his
But
name.
I'm glad because
He came out with the purple mask.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Awesome.
At San Diego Comic-Con, they're
Perfect.
like, and
I
he's back as.
I haven't seen any of the footage from.
I didn't see the footage, but people were doing like the play-by-plays, and it was like he came out and he's like, he's back as Baron Zemo, and he's like, and he put on the mask, and everybody's like, what? Like he's gonna
Perfect.
costume up, and everybody's like, yes.
Because as much as I liked him in the movie.
Yes, they did a realistic-esque version of.
Yes, they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't do any like crazy color stuff.
Yes, they didn't do the stupid-ass costume because it's a dumb
The
costume.
Zemo costume's real dumb.
But he's
Maybe-
putting it on.
Maybe he has like a bandana that has the purple on it.
Maybe.
That would be cool.
Yeah, he put on the full-on mask at Comic-Con. I'm not sure. Again, it's probably just a stunt. But
I mean,
Maybe,
just like
yeah.
how Josh Brolin came out with the fake Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rubber Infinity Gauntlet a couple years back.
But yeah, we'll see. So that was kind of
Yeah,
exciting.
I'm
I'm
excited.
excited for this show, and this one's definitely.
I'm actually
I want to
excited.
get.
This
I
is
want to
the
get Disney
Plus.
Plus.
That's not the show I'm excited for.
I'm excited for all the Disney
All of
Plus
them,
stuff.
yes.
Is actually
Yeah.
stellar.
So moving on to November next year.
Yes.
Eternals,
Yes.
the worst kept Marvel Phase 4 secret of all time. One of them, anyways.
And this one is very much a.
This is their Guardians for the.
This is crazier than Guardians.
This is
Eternals got like.
I imagine this is where Guardians Volume 3 would have been.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This is where Guardians
Yeah.
Volume 3 should have been.
And but this like Eternals got
It's so
20
weird.
comics
Yeah.
and ended.
Yeah. It was very much like Guardians of the Galaxy. When Guardians of the Galaxy came out as a movie, everyone's like, I remember talking to my coworker. He's, well, he doesn't work with it anymore, but like he
Yeah.
was like older. He's like in his 60s or whatever. So I was telling him like, all these Marvel movies are coming out. Guardians of the Galaxy's coming out. He's like, that old comic? And he's legitimately like,
Like
what?
Ross had read it, and Ross like is a fairly big comic book aficionado type guy. Like he
Yeah.
reads a lot, so he like. But they've at least thrown the Guardians in here
yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
Eternals.
It's super left field.
Yeah.
What happened was Jack Kirby left for DC and started doing this whole comic series about gods. And then got let go from DC and went back to Marvel, and he's like, well, I want to finish that storyline. So he created the Eternals to finish a storyline he started at DC. And he finished it, and they're like, okay, Jack, you feeling better? Like, can we go back to making comics now? And that was it.
That was it. He's done.
Eternals is so weird.
Like, this is honestly, I think this is Kevin Feige's like, hey, remember that Inhumans movie that you wanted to make that you screwed up so bad? I'm going to show you how it's done.
Cosmic,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
The casting on is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Oh, why can't I think of his name?
Where
You
from?
know what?
Where from? What do? What do?
The
What do?
East Indian fellow.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I know who you're talking.
And he's in a movie with Dave Bautista right now.
Yeah, the driver movie.
The Driver movie.
Yeah.
And he's in that one comedy movie that I really.
He's
really
hilarious. He's
Like.
fantastic.
So I'm so excited for him too.
This is big for him. This is cool for him.
Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg of all the things that they've announced, right?
Yeah. Kumail
Al-Jameer or something?
Nanjiani.
No, I didn't remember.
Selma Hayek.
Salma Hayek is in there.
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
Richard Madden from Game of Thrones.
Yep. Yeah, like there's people in this movie.
I don't understand why. What? I don't understand what they're gonna do with Eternals. I just don't.
And no one does.
I
Because
just
legit,
don't.
like
Yeah.
with 20 comics,
I would-
everybody's like, "What you gonna?" Which is
It's-
cool because now it's
well, I
Guardians
mean-
of the Galaxy. Yes, you can do whatever you
Well,
want.
I mean,
and no
like
one's
the
gonna
nice thing
give a-
about the MCU, even at this point, is that
you can do whatever you want.
they've established themselves.
Mhm.
They've established this universe as
Yeah.
not the 616 universe.
That's how we knew Mysterio was lying. Spoilers.
I totally. He had me for about 5 seconds.
He had me for about 2 seconds, and then he said 616, and I went,
Oh.
"You're not in 616."
This is because there's an actual designation for them.
Yes, there is.
I think it's like 1999 or something like that, or 2000s.
1919999.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, yeah it was something.
Wow.
It was I knew it was like 1999 something.
There's 1999 in it, but yeah, like it's
there's an actual designation for the MCU.
yes. So that when he said 616, I'm like,
it threw me for a loop. I was like, but then
you're pulling
this,
the same thing that Into the Spider-Verse tried to pull on me.
This isn't the 616. That means
616 is the comic universe, baby.
It's the original comic.
Yeah.
That's it.
But I think that was just thrown in as an Easter egg, more so than anything.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
For comic book fans.
Because that's why I was thinking about. Anyways, yeah, Eternals. Like
Yes.
weird.
But
Weird.
again,
Exciting,
you can do
though.
But you know what?
whatever you want.
They pulled it off with Guardians.
Oh sure, I'm not worried.
It's like this is them.
The only person I'm
Flexing
legit
it.
worried about in that movie is Angelina Jolie because she can be 50-50.
Yeah.
Like
You can have Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then Tomb Raider.
I like Mr. and Mrs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is really cool.
Yes,
And
she
then
does
you
a
have-
good job in that flick.
and
And
then
then
Tomb
Tomb
Raider.
Raider. Yes, you're very correct. And that's why I was
Tomb
going with. I'm
Raider.
like, you get Tomb Raider where you're like, okay.
No.
Like,
No.
even Wanted, she was better in Wanted. She
Yeah.
wasn't stellar in Wanted, but
She was mediocre.
she was mediocre. Maleficent, cool movie, but still, like, she was kind of.
I'm more concerned about the concept of Maleficent as a movie than her as the actor.
Yeah.
Her as that.
Maleficent, I like. Maleficent 2, I don't understand why they're making, but
That's
other than
that's a different. that is a. That is, yeah.
other
That's
than
basically
a
it.
cash thing, but
Yeah. So I'm excited for Eternals.
me too. I'm excited about the next one though.
Oh, I think we're all excited for this. So Shang-Chi
Yes.
and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Heck yeah.
It is 2021 of February
Simu Liu from Canada.
from Canada.
He's
Off
an
of Kim's,
Asian Canadian.
off of Kim's Convenience.
Yes.
So this is basically Marvel going. We can do Crazy Rich Asians too, guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because it's very much because anytime he gets interviewed, they're like, "How does it feel being an Asian American, like in movies?" And he's like, "I'm an Asian Canadian." He's very specific to
There's
point
a
out
specific-
that he is from
Bitch,
Canada.
please.
Yeah,
Bitch, please. Also, sorry.
but he but he has a background in martial arts. He has a background in gymnastics. So for the most part, we're actually going to get to see him
I remember.
Doing his
do a bunch of
talents.
I remember watching this is one of the stage things that I did see is that he's like, also Kevin, I've got a bone to pick with you. I was cast 2 days ago,
Yeah.
so I have had 48 hours to.
Yeah, they called him, and Kevin Feige calls him. He did one interview with someone, and he went, I'd auditioned, and he's like, from what I'd heard, Kevin likes to call people himself. Like, that's his shtick. He's like, I watched all the other interviews with all the other
Yeah.
MCU people, and it's like, oh, I got the call from Kevin, I got the call from Kevin. So he's like, so I was kind of hoping a number from California would show up. And not a number, like, from my agent. Because he's like, if it's from my agent, probably not good news. And he's like, and all of a sudden a California number appears, and you're like, hello?
Hello.
And it's
Yes.
like, hi, this is, hi, it's Kevin Feige. We'd like you to play Shang-Chi. And he's like, I'm pretty sure I cried on the phone. Like, this is huge.
It's big for not just.
And he's like,
Asians,
I'm sitting there in my underwear having, like, ramen or whatever. And
It's not just big for Canadians, but it's big for the Asian community.
it's
Yes.
huge for the
Yeah.
Asian community. This entire phase is huge for all sorts of different diverse
except for a
people.
white guy. Except for the single white guy.
But again, it's not like they're going to play it, like, I don't feel like Shang-Chi's going to be
It's
like
not going to be like a Crazy Rich Asians to the level of everything's Asian. It'll be very
Crazy
much,
Rich Asians had to be.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yes.
Shang-Chi,
It doesn't need to be. I mean,
I don't think it's going to be like Black Panther. You're not
Yeah.
going to be like, in your face,
Asian everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
Asian everything.
Yeah.
Like
or-
if you tell me that Ben Kingsley is not getting to be in this movie, I'm a real upset. Like they set that character up properly.
have.
Yeah.
And if
They
they don't
have.
follow through with that, even in the slightest, I will be very upset.
Yeah.
Like even a little tidbit.
Of like just him in the background, just getting like whipped.
Yeah.
But it's so cool, and Simu Liu is like the coolest guy.
He seems really good. Like I've
And-
seen his pieces. off
Well,
of
and
the
like
show.
I was telling you before, he did a CBC interview where someone's like, well, why can't Captain America be Asian? Like, that's how they should be doing this now. Like, that's how they should be diversifying. He goes, but that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Because then it's forced almost.
Right.
Like,
It's
Like,
very
that's-
forced, and you have to look at the history of the comics. I don't think they've ever had an Asian Captain America.
no, and
Like,
it's,
the most they've done is a black woman,
like,
Yeah.
and that's not even the current universe. It's
Yeah.
a different like.
that's the Gwen universe.
Yeah.
But that's a piece where people were complaining about The Little Mermaid, and I'm like, Little Mermaid you can change, and no one cares because she's a mermaid.
She's a mermaid.
It has nothing to do with her backstory. Mulan, you cannot change into
a white guy.
Well, no, but like you can't even change
Oh wait,
into
hold on, she is the guy.
You can't even change it to like let's say East Indian or
correct, and that's
Yeah,
exactly where I was
right.
going. It's like you can't change her into an East Indian and have the same story. It doesn't work. You cannot because people were like, "What if you changed Princess Tiana into a white person?" And it's like, her story is about a black girl from New Orleans back in a time when black people weren't really accepted. So for her to be working towards owning a business was a big deal.
Yeah,
that's part of the story.
It wouldn't have the same caliber if it was just.
It was kind of refreshing to see him as someone who advocates for more Asian people to be in film, like in big Hollywood movies.
And he's going to be a big inspiration too.
Tons.
He's going to be a huge inspiration.
But like that's his thing where he goes, if it makes sense to the story.
Yeah.
Like he's like, no, you don't have to change Captain America. Let's start making Asian superheroes.
Yeah.
He's like, there's a bunch in the comics.
There's a bunch.
Have you ever read any of the Iron Fist stuff? I'm sure there's tons.
Well, but so like he started naming, like he knows his comics, which is the other exciting part.
Yeah.
Because he starts naming off all of these comic book people who are, Asian characters, and he's like this is the start of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like boom, and then the CBC guy was like, so how do you think it's going to be like in 2021 on Halloween? People are going to be running around as Shang-Chi, and he's like, whoa.
There's gonna be Shang-Chi action figures.
Yeah.
And it's gonna have his face on it.
But he hasn't had time to process anything because, like you said, he got
the call like 48 hours before the
You got
SDCC.
the job, and you have to be in San Diego this weekend. Yeah.
I'll fly you out. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Where are we going?
Please put on pants. Oh.
Yeah. Oh man. Can I finish my ramen?
Sure.
So yeah, that's
like I'm very excited for that all.
Well, because this is now going to be also the Iron Fist movie that we should have gotten as a TV show.
I'm the immortal Shang-Chi. I'm the immortal Shang-Chi. 50% of them.
That's going to be the worst part. Is the guy with less superpowers because he's really just a master of kung fu in the comics.
That's his thing. He knows all the martial arts. That's his thing.
He's legit just Bruce Lee in comic book form.
Yeah.
Like really good martial artist versus guy with actual
fist of
power. This is going to be 8 bajillion times better. And it's just like we're finally going to get a decent martial arts action flick
from the Marvel guys.
From the Marvel guys, and that was his big thing. Was he's like, because the guy was interviewing him.
Because if you really think
Jackie Chan was his hero as a kid, and he's like, not that they'll let me do half of my own stunts, and he's like, and not that I'll be doing.
I don't know. They let Tom Holland do a lot of his own stunts.
Yes, but not to the point of like Jackie Chan, where you're actually doing
falling from the ceiling.
Yeah,
cracking your skull open.
Jumping from a building to a building without ropes.
Yeah, dislocating arms and all of this stuff, trying to like slip through like a bank slot sort of.
It's like Tom Cruise, except we're okay if Tom Cruise hurts himself.
Yeah. Like he's like, not that I'll be able to do all of that stuff, but he's like, I want to do as much as I can.
I think he'll be able to
do. Well, and again, it makes for a way better action movie when you can see their face. It's not doing those quick cuts to like, behind the scene to like a guy getting punched. It's legitimately going to be him.
I'm excited to see what his costume will look like.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing about Shang-Chi is, again, he's a hero that they're going to have to change some things like they did with the Ancient One for Doctor Strange, because very stereotypical.
Not really culturally appropriate
anymore. Yeah. So they're going to have to change some stuff. So it's going to be cool to see what they do. I know. That's what I mean. Like, again, they get to play with Shang-Chi.
It'll be very exciting.
In an exciting way.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus again. The most confusing announcement still today.
WandaVision.
WandaVision. They've confirmed, obviously, Olsen's in it.
Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen.
Like, those guys are going to be in it. They haven't talked about the story.
Nope.
Except for the fact that it takes place in the 50s. And this logo very clearly shows that it's going to be in the 50s.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
I still don't. Yeah,
what is going on?
I still have no idea what.
So it's this kind of ties in with the next thing.
Yeah. So
more so than anything. So we've got WandaVision coming to Disney Plus.
Yes.
But then we have possibly my most anticipated movie announcement.
The first horror movie.
The first scary MCU film.
Yep.
Doctor Strange is getting a horror movie.
And the Multiverse of Madness story.
Which also features Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
And so they've said that this movie will directly tie into WandaVision.
Yes.
And if you know anything about multiverses,
Yes.
anything can happen.
Anything happen.
This is definitely the intro into bringing, especially like if we skip to the end of this whole thing, the last thing that got announced was Blade. So we'll talk about that after. But
Blade was a surprising.
Yeah, but the multiverse piece is
Yes.
the best way of bringing vampires into the MCU.
Vampires,
especially if you're doing a horror movie.
Yeah.
Bringing in different Mighty Thor.
But like the mutants and like all of those things that have been like how are we going to get
like
all these new properties?
I genuinely think that this Doctor Strange movie will change the MCU.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is our House of M.
This is House of M. This is the Civil War.
Yeah.
This is the Winter Soldier movie for this phase. Everything else is cool, but that's what's going to change. That's the
change. That's going to be the one that all of a sudden
things are happening.
They come back at the end of the movie back to 1999 sort of thing or whatever the actual code number, whatever it is, and things have changed.
Yeah.
They have opened worlds that should not have been opened, and they've done things that
if you know anything about how time travel works from Endgame, like things change when you change it in a timeline.
Yeah,
you
created a new timeline. You have not changed your.
But what happens if you connect your timeline to that newly changed timeline?
You've opened a portal between the two.
And that's what this is going to be about, this whole multiverse stuff. And the fact that Doctor Strange is getting in front of it, I expect no other person to be in front of this.
Those two are the perfect people to, like, as soon as they're like, yeah, Scarlet Witch is in it, I'm like, yeah, because she can open portals.
Yeah.
So can he.
Yes, he can open bigger portals.
Well, but that's the piece. Like, they can both go into, like, Dormammu's dimension.
Yeah.
Like, easy peasy. They've done it in the comics a
bunch. And that's why it was so exciting to see those two on the stage at the same time, because it's like, oh, they're
putting the magic people together. We're getting a magic movie.
We're getting a magic movie.
A horror one.
Horror magic movie.
So how horrific is this movie?
The guy who directed the original Doctor Strange is known for doing horror movies. Okay. So he is like.
So I'm assuming before or after New Mutants?
This is.
Here's going to be like a New Mutants falls in here somewhere.
That's like a surprise.
Yeah,
a surprise.
It's the second horror movie.
Yeah.
Well, because that's as soon as they announced it as the first horror movie, the internet was like, not getting New Mutants. Yeah.
Which pouring one out for that movie. It was supposed to come out this weekend.
Yes.
New Mutants was supposed to be out this weekend. Pouring one out for it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're not getting your movie. You're not getting your movie. But it's funny, in Ultimate Alliance, the new game for the Switch, you're trying to escape people, and Wanda is like, "I've got this, guys!" Opens a portal to Dormammu's dimension, like straight up in the game. And then in this, they announce that, and I'm going, yes.
Like, what universe is that game?
Yeah. It's its own universe, thank God.
How do we... No, but you don't know that.
Well, it is its own universe. Like.
So how do we get to that from the MCU?
Yeah, exactly. You open a damn portal.
Easy. But Valve had it right this entire time.
Yeah. Portals. But that's what makes me laugh is, like, even when they were getting rid of the Ultimate Universe in the comics, what happened was, like, Reed Richards, essentially... / Galactus / like all of that stuff opened portals between worlds and they smooshed together. And essentially the entire shtick was we've got to fight the people on the other side and obliterate them so that our world takes over more of their world than
it's the King of the Hill.
It was very much a King of the Hill thing, so everybody was just fighting and you're like,
and that's how you got 2 Logans too, and that's how you got 2 Captain Americas.
Well, because everything smooshed together and exploded, and you got all of these like small worlds of like weird things, like the Thor core became something. So all of a sudden there was like
Miles Morales is still in the he's in the 616.
He's now officially 616. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, there's a bunch of spider people running around now.
They introduced
Gwen shows up every once in a while. Like she travels through the Spider-Verse sort of thing.
Of course she does.
Like that's just an intrinsic thing in Spider-Man now. Is like every once in a while Spider-Ham pops up because he's like, oh yeah, the portal's opened up again, man. But there's Silk, who got bit by the same spider that Peter Parker got bit by, but got locked in a bunker for 18 years. Like, Yeah, that was what kicked off Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Was Peter Parker let her out, and all of a sudden the dimension jumping started because these spider-eating vampire creatures.
Yeah, they were killing Spider-Man.
They were killing spider
Killing
totems.
spiders, yeah.
But she was like the one they could smell, sort of like she was an important totem.
Oh.
So then they came to 616 to like screw things up. And the
Yeah.
cool thing was is they really only went after spider people. So like it's not like they destroyed all of New York.
Yeah.
They would only go after Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
And then if like Captain America got in the way, they'd kill Captain America.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now Silk's in the comics.
Mhm.
Miles Morales is in the comics. Spider-Man's in the comics. 2099 pops up every once in a
Oh
while
God.
because time travel. And it's just like, I know Spider-Man is popular, but can we just?
No.
This
No,
is too popular.
We got multiverses to talk.
We got
about.
multiverses now, baby.
2021
So yeah, WandaVision
and
and Multiverse of Madness. I feel like WandaVision's gonna be
it's like a prequel-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
The ending of that will set up.
we'll set up that, and I feel like a lot of that's gonna take place in her head
You think so?
if it's based in the like,
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be in a different universe.
or it's a different universe.
I'm thinking it's.
And she
Oh.
loses vision, and something goes wrong, and she
I straight up just think it'll be a different universe.
and
yeah.
it could be.
Because there's no other way to write that story. The way that they presented it.
It's
Yeah,
tough to.
that's
It's
true.
the
tough
way that
to.
the way they presented it. There's no other way. It has to be a different universe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do for WandaVision.
Slash.
But yeah, I'm really excited for Multiverse of Madness.
That is
'cause
but my like.
we're getting a horror movie, which obviously can't be like. It's not like it's gonna
It's
be.
PG-13.
No, yeah.
It's going to be PG-13, but it's like there's going to be jump scares.
Yeah, jump scares and people
or
popping
like
out.
or like mental like horror pieces. But,
Yeah.
But no like.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna rip his arm off.
No, it's not
and
gonna
then
be
smack his
gory,
arm
and
with
then-
his smack. It's not Deadpool here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving into more Disney Plus stuff. So after Multiverse of Madness,
Speaking of multiverses.
yeah, we get
the Loki show.
Loki.
which is definitely a multiverse show
There's
because
gotta
this
be.
is when he takes the Tesseract and
From
disappears in Endgame, which is clearly from the first Avengers movie.
Yes.
He disappears through time and space, and now
Does
he's
things.
just screwing up time and space.
Does the, he does
So
Loki.
he's creating multiverses.
So in a sense, those three things are solidly tied together by something weird happenstance.
This one we really know nothing about other than
No.
he jumps through space and
Yeah,
time.
it's
and
just
screws
we
up.
don't know if he's going to be the protagonist, the antagonist, or just Loki.
Well, and
We don't know.
I feel, and people are like, well, do we get like the gender bending Loki now, where he'll change into? And I'm like, we're gonna get Loki that's changing into all sorts of stuff to blend into.
Yeah.
We're getting Tom Hiddleston. That's all we.
We're
need to
obviously
know.
gonna get Tom Hiddleston, but obviously, like, he'll change into look like someone else for part of a show
Yeah.
Sure.
to blend in with people. So like, it's like, oh, I need to get into this place. Like, I
But
can
what
look
is he?
like
What,
Captain
what's
America.
he? What? I want to know what his like purpose is.
Yeah, like what's his
Mischief.
end goal kind of thing?
Yeah,
Mischief.
I know, but I just want to know more.
And again, I think we're gonna get pieces of that. Like, and that's the piece. Black Widow obviously has to set up this next phase.
Yeah.
Like
I
something
don't-
has to
I
happen
don't
in
think-
Black Widow.
I don't think Black Widow is it.
But like even the after credits thing, something in Black Widow has to set up either Falcon and Winter Soldier or.
Falcon and Winter Soldier's
Eternals.
already set up. We got that at the end of Endgame.
I get that, but we're gonna like Black Widow's got to do something because it's kicking off the phase.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man's not. It ended the phase.
But it also opened up Fury.
Oh,
and
it
Space.
It opened up a lot of stuff for
The
yes.
Eternals. That's more Eternal stuff. I
Yeah,
think.
but so Black Widow's.
I don't see.
something.
I just can't see it.
I
just
can't. I don't know how they're gonna do it. But
because
they-
especially if Black Widow takes place before Infinity War.
Or Infinity.
But that's why I feel whatever's
And
gonna
after
happen
Civil
there,
War.
they're gonna like grab an artifact. Obviously, hopefully not like an Infinity Stone or something like
Yeah, let's confuse the timeline some more.
Yeah.
Where
But,
were
like,
these time? Where were
They'll
these-
get a different artifact of some kind, or they'll come to some kind of knowledge that they're like, oh, that's neat,
Yeah.
and then it won't have to do with much else of the movie, but it'll come into play in like
WandaVision
or Multiverse.
Yeah.
And then we'll get that, and then Loki will spring off of like all of these multiverses.
Well, yeah, and Loki doesn't need anything because his show's already been set up.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what his. I want to
Maybe he'll
know.
appear in the Multiverse of Madness.
Maybe.
They'll
Maybe-
pop into a
maybe
multiverse, and he'll just be like,
Maybe he'll appear in this next Disney Plus show.
he will. Well, this is an animated one.
But they've said that the voice actors are,
The voice actors are going to
appropriate
be the
voice
actual actors from the MCU.
if they ever show up. So the next thing is a Disney Plus show
Yes.
called the What If line.
Yes.
which I think is really going to be a lot of fun.
So what if comics were invented to essentially
What if?
writers went stupid back in the day and they write a storyline and they're like, well, that doesn't make sense with all the continuity that's going on
Yeah, they
with
write
our
so
comic.
much. And at this point in the MCU, that's basically what's happening. It's like, we want to do storylines, but it doesn't make any sense anymore.
So this is the way to do it.
It's a catch-all.
Kind of in the cheap because you can do the animation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to add all the CGI.
You just have all
things
the you have all the actors phone in and do their line.
So this is like, what if Captain America wasn't Steve Rogers? What if it was like Peggy Carter?
I think that's one of the official episodes.
Marvel Zombies.
What if Marvel Zombies? What if Tony Stark didn't invent the arc reactor?
Right.
Yeah.
Or what if he did, but he used it as a weapon instead, and all of a sudden Iron Man's the bad guy?
Right.
Yeah.
Or what if Captain America didn't get frozen in ice?
Right. And continued fighting through World War II and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is so the what ifs. I don't feel like we're gonna get Iron Man.
Probably not.
Just because Robert Downey Jr.'s.
I think
he's done with the role.
Yes.
His character might show up, but it won't be him.
Yeah.
Like he'll be a flyby. Like
and that's the piece. Is like
Iron Man flew by.
Or they'll use like
the armor.
Voice snippets that he's already
or
done.
They'll have what's her name? That's Pepper Pot.
Yes.
What's her name?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, look at
Who can't remember that
I was just gonna say
any of these movies.
she'll do one line and then forget it all instantly. I laugh about that.
She forgets everybody.
Yeah, it's not just it's bad. She's
like
bad.
Tom Holland and the guy who played Bucky, like Sebastian Stan. She remembers none of them, and it's like Tom's like, we've been in a scene together before.
Multiple scenes now.
Like, we've done lots of work together.
We're in the highest grossing movie of all time. Come on.
We were in a scene, a very pivotal scene.
A couple pivotal.
Together.
Together.
No. No.
Are you sure?
Are you sure it wasn't a romantic comedy?
Gwyneth Paltrow was weird, man.
What if? It's basically what if. What if Pepper Potts became Iron Man?
Yeah.
What if anything?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a cool series.
Yeah, and the nice thing is it's a catch-all of like it doesn't actually need to be canon specifically.
And none of it will be, or it'll be multiverses,
here's my like not a pipe dream thing about this, but like if one of the episodes really resonates with the fans,
it becomes a thing.
It can become a thing.
Yeah.
They can blow that out into another Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a multiverse.
Anything can happen.
This takes place in 261 or whatever.
Yeah, just give it a random designation.
Yeah, so it'll be like an anthology series.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think is a great idea.
And that's what the What If comics are. It's legitimately a,
And if I guarantee if Spider-Gwen didn't explode as she did in the comics, we wouldn't get her now.
Oh no. That was insanely well written.
It was well written. It was very well written, but it was just it was more like this is very weird and very different. And everyone just kind of latched onto it. I'm sure if people didn't latch onto it, they wouldn't have continued it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And that's this.
But that was the piece is like we got Ultimate Spider-Man, which gave us kind of the reboot in a new generation Peter Parker, and everybody was like, this is good because old Peter Parker, if you read like the original Spider-Man comics, was a dick. Like his whole purpose as a character starting off was like, he gets made fun of and bullied, and he's like, I'll show you one day, one day you'll regret what you did, and it's like, whoa, like cool it. Ultimate Peter Parker was very much the nerd who wasn't quite accepted at school. Like he was our generation's nerd, not that generation's nerd. Very different.
Very different.
Gwen Stacy's thing was the same, where all of a sudden it was like, let's do a Spider-Man story, but Gwen Stacy gets bit, and you're like, okay, so it's going to be the same story. But then she fights Peter Parker because that Peter Parker becomes the Lizard because he gets picked on too much, and like, you'll regret this, and he becomes the Lizard, and she kills him.
Yeah.
And becomes
infamous for that.
Like the villain essentially for killing a kid. And it's like, whoa, this is radically different than Miles Morales when he started, where it was like, you're going to take the exact same plot line as...
Yeah. That's why I loved Gwen Stacy's
Right, like that's why I thought like Spider-Gwen was a million times better than Miles Morales.
100%.
Until Miles Morales they have finally fixed throughout other media. Like they fixed him in the comics finally. It took them a year, but they finally gave him a reason to actually be a hero. Not just meeting Gwen Stacy and her to saying, with great power comes great responsibility. And he's like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So cool.
In the Spider-Man PS4 game, they did a better job of Miles
my God,
Morales.
yeah.
Into the
I think
Spider-Verse,
the
they did a
Spider-Verse
better-
did the best version of him.
Like, but that's the
Yeah.
piece, is like Miles Morales has become a better
What-
character
what-
outside of the comics.
One thing that Miles Morales can do better than Peter Parker in the comics: hug his parents.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not so much.
Ow. Ow.
Well, and that was and that's when Miles Morales in the comics became interesting. Is his mom dies.
Yeah.
And then he tells his dad he's Spider-Man, and his dad abandons him.
Yeah.
And you're like, now this character is compelling.
Yeah.
He's got his own arc that is not just Peter Parker 2.0. He is now his own person.
Right.
There's
And
some
then in
character development.
Right, and then in the movies and the games and all of that stuff, they're like, oh, we've got this character that no one really...
We know he's a fan favorite.
Right, but no
But
one's
we-
latched onto his story yet, so we can change it to suit our needs.
And, so
And
that-
they've done.
yeah.
And they've done a better job than Brian Michael Bendis did in the comics, because that legitimately was one of those, like, let's make Spider-Man half black and half Hispanic. How do we do that? We'll kill off the Peter Parker and just replace him with a guy who has
replace
the
him.
exact same story. He
Um,
accidentally gets bit by a spider from Oscorp,
Surprise.
and then gets told with great power comes great responsibility. And then we give him a costume and he starts
It's
swinging
just-
around.
I still appreciate that fact that we still haven't gotten that line in the MCU.
We've gotten it in a different way, and people keep harshing on the fact that, like, we don't mention Uncle Ben, and I'm like, but that
They technically did
they throw it into Far From Home on the
on the suitcase. I
Yeah.
loved that. That was my favorite.
And like someone pointed out, he loses the suitcase, like it explodes or whatever,
Mhm.
and that's kind of that.
I
like,
guess the symbolism. behind
but
that.
he's dropped now, like Tony Stark and Uncle Ben. He's his own human now, not living in the shadow of these father figures.
Yeah.
And it's like, symbolism, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Uncle Ben's in there, and I get people are like, we know we don't want to rehash on the origin thing.
Then don't.
But like, you at least mention
I think
him.
I think
and
his
it's
origin
like,
is better, much better in this movie. In that movie.
I dig it, and he does. He gives the when Tony Stark asks him, like, well, why do you do what you do? And it's like, because if you have the power to do something and you don't, you're just as bad as the people who like.
Which is basically
that's his,
it's the phrase. It's a
yeah,
phrase.
that's his "with great power comes great responsibility" phrase, because someone told him that, and it's like you don't have to sit there drawing it out like, oh, Uncle Ben told me that.
Flashback scene.
Yeah. Or like, when he says Uncle May's or Uncle Aunt May's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Like, we know what they've been through.
Clearly, loss has happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like there is
Yeah.
a single parental figure, and this
It's
is
no longer there.
Yeah.
Tony
Yeah.
Stark
It's been
is
acknowledged.
fulfilled.
it's been acknowledged. We don't need to like dive into it. It doesn't need to be. Spider-Man does what he does for a reason.
Mhm.
He does it for the same reason in the movie. Like, and that's where the Amazing Spider-Man screwed up. It was like a revenge instead of guilt.
Oh yeah.
And that's
yeah.
kind of like as a subtopic, like that's kind of why I think Justice League doesn't work as well.
Yes.
In the first like 5 minutes already, you're seeing the death of Bruce Wayne's parents,
Again.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know. That as soon as that movie opened, and it's like they're walking
you
into the
talk
theater,
about
and I'm going,
you talk about a backstory that's been retold way too many times.
Batman.
That one.
yeah.
Like not Ben Parker.
But it was important because they had to work the Martha thing into.
Yeah, the Martha.
There's
into-
so many better ways to do that. They could just be like, "Who's the pretty lady?" Oh, her name's Martha. Who is she? My mother. And then he walks away, and like that's done.
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 Or they could just talk things out.
Martha. Why'd you say that name?
Yeah, I still think like, your mom's Martha too?
What a horrible
Oh
thing.
my God.
Or they could have just not added that line in.
No, that whole thing is
There's
like, even if he's standing over Superman, and Superman's like I just my mom's in trouble, or something like that.
or you just say like, "Oh, my mom was also in trouble too."
Well, no,
Or
or like
just anything other than Martha.
like wait, like we're on the same side, like, because really that whole fight sequence didn't have to happen. In the original cartoon comic where they fought, it was because Superman became too powerful and Batman was like,
Yeah.
I have to stop, because he's working for the government.
Yeah. Superman
all
was
of
just
that.
the government's puppet.
Right, so Batman's finally like, I'm stopping this.
Yeah.
That movie made no sense whatsoever.
yeah,
Like,
Dawn
if
of
they,
Justice was rough.
but if they would have landed like Superman lands, and he's like, "Hey, listen, Lex Luthor has my mom captured, and unless I fight you, like, he's gonna kill her," and Batman's like, oh, dude,
Yeah,
like, that's rough.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
help you
do
find
this.
your mom,
Yeah.
and we'll stage a little fight.
We should
like,
rewrite just Dawn of Justice.
We should just eliminate it.
Yeah.
No. We can rewrite
Just
it.
read the comic.
We can make it better. We can make it better.
Yeah, by
There's-
just making it a Batman movie
Yes.
without Superman.
Yes. So yes, what if?
What if?
Series. The next Disney Plus show.
What if we wrote DC's?
Yeah.
We wrote DC's. Yeah. The Hawkeye series, which I think I heard rumors of it. They announced it, right? But this is their official.
This is their official.
Yeah,
like
like
the logo's out.
They've
and
talked
Jeremy
about a
Renner's-
Hawkeye. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't crazy when
He's
they.
training the new Hawkeye.
So that's basically it.
Yes.
Yes,
We're getting
I-
Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye.
I'm
Which
so
is cool.
I'm just excited to see Jeremy Renner again because like if you look at those like when they started MCU films and then where they are now,
Yeah.
you can clearly see like Robert Downey Jr. getting a little bit older.
Oh yeah, you can see their
Chris Hemsworth
totally.
got more handsome. Well, you look at Jeremy Renner; he looks the same. He's like we laugh about Paul Rudd and how he doesn't age.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy Renner also
Same
doesn't
thing,
age.
yeah.
So he did age and then he stopped because he was originally in an episode or 2 of Angel. And I forgot that, and I was
Oh, I
rewatching
don't
Angel a
remember
few
that.
years ago,
I gotta see this.
and he was a vampire,
I gotta see this.
and he showed up, and I'm like, I recognize that face, but he's got like baby fat still almost.
Oh,
like
you
he's
still got
like,
the baby face?
He's kind of got the
Oh,
baby
I
face,
gotta
and you're
see
like,
this later.
aw, Jeremy Renner, like that's so.
You're so cute.
Like you finally like you IMDb it and go, that's Jeremy. Oh, but yeah, he hit a certain age and just kind of stopped.
And that was like at the beginning of the MCU almost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like when,
Yeah.
Like when they hired him as Hawkeye, he's like,
Stop
okay,
aging.
I'm going to stop now. I'm
Yeah,
done
it's-
aging.
It's the Paul Rudd
Yeah.
effect.
It's
Because Paul Rudd's like that too. It's
Oh,
like you look
yeah.
at Paul Rudd from like 20 years ago. It's like it's the same.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a little more hair.
We're gonna have Hawkeye training the new Hawkeye.
So I'm excited. I'm just always excited to see more Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Because Hawkeye's another one of those heroes where his code name can move amongst people.
Yes.
They've only mentioned Hawkeye by name once in the MCU,
Yes.
if I remember. Like they all just call him by his
Clint.
name. Yeah, they
Clint,
always just say
yeah.
Clint. But they've called him Hawkeye once.
Yeah.
I think it was like the first Avengers.
I
Yeah,
think we're
the
gonna get
first
more
Avengers.
of them calling each other by code names as we continue on.
I honestly, I could have it either way.
And it's always worked. It's not like the
Except
Captain
Doctor
America.
Strange.
Except that.
Oh, he's our superhero.
That's Spider-Man.
That works. Shut
That
up.
was so dumb.
Well played.
Um,
So the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus.
Disney more Disney Plus.
Half of their announcements at SDCC were.
Yeah, they're really pushing that.
Yeah,
and
the
I'm
next
like,
two-
I'm sold.
In the
I'm
next
like,
2 years, well, and it's funny because I was talking to Chris about it, and he goes, "Well, now, like, I have to get the subscription
Of
service."
course we do.
And, and I'm like, and he's like, "But then the budgets," and I'm like, "No, they're doing these as like 8-hour movies. Like they're doing these as."
I want to know. Yeah, I
we're
also.
getting
While we're on the
the
topic
budgets.
of like these, this is the last Disney Plus show
yes
that
for,
they announced.
for
But
the
like,
announcement.
I want to know like, are they doing 8 episodes? Are they doing 13
Yeah.
episodes? Are they doing
Yeah.
4 episodes? Or like,
I think it depends on the series, and I
Like-
think it depends. Yeah.
I think the one that probably can like be the most is probably the What If because that's easy to produce.
Oh,
Oh,
they'll just
yeah.
keep making them.
I think
as
What
time
If will
goes
They'll
on.
have like a
continue.
What If season 1, What
Yeah.
If season 2, What If season 3.
Yeah, that one's an easy
And
one
if
to
they-
just keep doing. Like
yeah.
Loki, we might just get Loki and.
And you have to also imagine like actors are expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston's probably pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson's getting probably pretty expensive if they
Yeah.
want to use it for more stuff. That's
But again, Disney's going for bulk subscriber base
Right.
Yeah.
with this one, going like if we pour money into this, and it's not like they don't have money to spare. Like they have
Mhm.
beaten the top grossing record that they set 6 years ago in July or June.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
they're halfway through the
They're
year and
halfway
they're
through the
like,
year,
we
they're-
have beaten the all-time yearly
Yeah.
global record for making
Right.
money.
yes, Disney money.
Well, Aladdin over $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah.
Lion King over $1 billion
They're just
worldwide.
racking in the
Spider-Man over $1 billion
money. Hey,
worldwide.
guys.
Avengers top grossing film.
You
of
don't
all
want to give us
time,
Spider-Man
not with
back?
inflation.
I'm just gonna buy you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just
I'll just
Sony at this point, if they don't keep that deal, is gonna like they know they're idiots.
yeah.
Like someone legitimately has to be on some kind of
Drug.
massive drug
Trip, yeah.
to be like, you know what? Screw you, we're taking Spider-Man.
I can make my
back,
own Spider-Man.
and we're making
with
Amazing
his
Spider-Man 3.
and hookers and blow.
Let's get the Spider-Man!
We're making Amazing Spider-Man 3 because everybody loved the Amazing Spider-Man series.
You know what? Screw you guys. We're making Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
We're going back to Raimi.
I would take Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, over Amazing Spider-Man.
I would not take Amazing
That's
Spider-Man.
That's one of the what ifs. It's Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 4.
Moving on to the next and last movie of Phase 4.
Yes, the big
that we know of.
That we know of. Because when they announced Phase 3, so many things changed when they got Spider-Man.
And Feige says
and they lost.
They're open to that too. They're still changing.
Oh, obviously.
They got Spider-Man. They lost Inhumans.
Yes, and again, that multiverse of madness. I feel like
it's gonna change so many things.
I feel like either X-Men or Fantastic Four can work their way in. After
I actually think it's more like I actually see more like if they get Namor back or something like that.
Yes.
It's something, something will change.
Yeah.
If Universal plays ball and plays nice, if they get Hulk back, we could see something.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like we're gonna
anything can happen because that's what happened with the Spider-Man. It's like out of the blue, we got Spider-Man back, and they're like,
"This is a moneymaker.
We could do something."
If
with
we
this.
let
how to
if we let
what
Disney
do we
deal
what do we leave? I'll buy Inhumans.
But especially with them knowing about the Fox merger for such a long time, like Kevin Feige's been like, okay, guys, as soon as that drops, how do we do this? And it's like, let's let Endgame finish.
Yeah, they've got
like
the plan.
let's not mix them into Endgame.
No.
So let's let that saga finish.
The Infinity Saga.
And then it's like, now what? So I feel like because they already have Phase 5 planned.
Yeah,
we've heard that.
We know they have up to 2023 planned.
Yes.
Or so.
So it's like Fantastic Four can definitely squeeze its way in somewhere.
Yeah.
X-Men can squeeze their way in. Mutants themselves can squeeze their way in. Not necessarily X-Men, but all of a sudden having.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be opposed to them like redoing Inhumans as long as it was done right.
Right.
And it could be done right if it was not done by Jeff Loeb and what's his name who was heading Marvel.
Everyone gives Jeff Loeb like a lot of like flack, but I think
because I hate his comic book writing.
Like he's done pretty good with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. lately. Like he's.
It wasn't just Jeff though. The big piece was Kevin Feige had that fight with the guy who ran Marvel.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of we weren't getting creative and people were ready to quit the MCU. Like Robert Downey Jr. was ready to be done. Chris Evans was done. Like everybody was done. Then that guy got canned. Yeah. Because Kevin Feige went to Bob Iger.
Yeah.
Of Disney going like, he goes or I go. And Bob Iger's like, you can't go. You're no longer. You do not report to him. You report to me.
Yeah.
Like you are now a movie division of Disney. You are not part of Marvel.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige went.
All
all of a sudden, everybody was back in.
Yeah.
Because like the tone of
the movies
of all of the production changed.
Yeah.
But that guy still is Jeff Loeb's boss. So he makes dumb decisions like, oh, we gotta crank Inhumans out as fast as we can.
Right.
Like get it out by this date. And Jeff Loeb is just like, aye, aye, Captain. Whereas the TV show with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they have, I think, a little bit more freedom.
They have a little bit more freedom.
Because the seasons are, you know when your season's coming out.
Yeah.
As opposed to Netflix, where it was just like, oh, we got the bandwagon going.
And you know what, though? Like, if they knew that the events of Endgame, they knew, the writers knew. But they just didn't know when they were coming back. Right. Which was kind of complicated for them to write Season 6 and Season 7. Yep. So that's where we get the whole, like, this doesn't really acknowledge the events of Endgame, even though the Season 5
said something about
clearly
Thanos and Wakanda.
Yeah, it really clearly stated Infinity War stuff. So why? And we have gotten word that they will like address the snap.
Yes.
In the show, somewhere, somehow.
Well, they're done filming. They're done.
They're officially done all of it,
yep.
Which it's incredibly sad because the next day they were taking pictures of the set that they like they called it the lighthouse. It was basically their base of operations. Yep. They were tearing it apart, and I'm just like.
Because when they were doing their panel at San Diego Comic-Con, they were in the middle of filming their last episode.
Last episode.
Yeah, I think this last Tuesday was officially their last. They filmed their last day.
Because they were being interviewed by Kevin Smith, and they're like, we're in the middle of filming the last episode right now, and he's like, you're done. And he's like, you're done, and they're like, yeah, like in a week we'll be done.
We'll be
that's it.
We'll be looking for jobs.
Yeah, like, we're all looking for gigs, and I mean they're all pretty. Like he's like, well, how does that feel? And Clark, and he's like, are you sad? Are you happy? Like, oh, I don't have to put up with this bullshit anymore. And Clark Gregg's like, it's a little bit of everything. Because he's like, the fight choreography is intense, and he's like, and this is he's like, it's a lot. And he's like, I'm gonna miss these people. Obviously, I've spent the last 7 years with them, like doing stuff. He's like, we're family. Yeah. And the one guy's like, yeah, but we have phones. Like,
and you can't tell me that Clark Gregg is not gonna get work. You tell me that Ming-Na Wei is not gonna get work.
Oh, she's gonna get tons of work.
Those two alone will find tons of work.
Well, Crazy Rich Asians too.
Oh my God! Yes.
They're making it.
Yes.
They are, yeah.
Because they want the cast of Kim's.
I totally forgot that.
They want the cast of Kim's Convenience.
Let's do it. I might as well. But yeah, because she wasn't in the first one, was she?
Ming-Na Wei?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was she?
I super don't remember. I think she would have made a big.
She was.
I think.
Yes, she was.
Was she?
Yes. Hold on, I've already got IMDb open.
Yeah, help us.
What's the movie? Crazy Rich Asians.
And then Ming-Na, because there are going to be a ton of names on that
That's
list.
fine. I can go through the list really quick.
I don't think she was in that movie.
I don't think
Did she not make it?
No. She was probably filming ALS, that's why.
So many names.
You're so Asian.
So
lookalike.
So many Asian.
Her name already.
You said it.
I said it.
So Asians, they look the same.
Hey, white guys.
What? That's not Crazy Rich.
No, she wasn't.
I could see her being
Oh,
in
yeah.
that movie. Like, in a heartbeat. In fact, I would be her talking to her agent and being like,
I'm still upset she's not in Mulan.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see her as her mom.
That's what everybody was kind of throwing out there was like,
hey, you know, it'd be cool if she was.
Yeah. She's not.
I know.
Because we see her mom in the trailer.
That would be the ultimate nod. Like I would excuse a ton of that film's issues, like
for that nod.
For that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Oh yeah, she was on Fresh Off the Boat.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
She plays another Asian couple that moves in, and the two of them compete. The two moms.
Oh my God, I need to watch that single episode.
And then they become like friends.
Right.
But it's very much like, well, my son is like blah 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 at school. And,
to
well, my son was this, and it's like,
I need
oh,
to
this is good. This is good.
I super need to see that. Sing one episode. So yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is done.
Yes.
And so, sorry, where are we going with this?
We were just talking.
We haven't even mentioned the last film yet.
No, we haven't, because we were just talking about
where they were going with.
The movies. Yeah,
movies and stuff. Yeah.
Where
they could fit stuff in. Either way, last movie that was
Thor.
announced, Love and
Thunder. The first Marvel character to have 4 consecutive films.
Yeah, he gets his fourth one.
He gets his fourth one.
I love someone who on Reddit posted like all the logos of
Yeah,
Thor
it's
and
like
how
they
insane
get more and more.
Yeah.
Better.
Thor's
better
just block letters.
In fact, it goes like Thor the Dark World, and then Thor Ragnarok, and then Thor...
Yeah, that was the only one that really took a dip. Because everybody's second movie was actually fairly okay.
Yeah, better almost. Like,
yeah.
Iron Man 2 was stunning.
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
I think
it's my favorite movie.
Yeah, I think it's between that one. Yeah,
it's my favorite MCU movie. It's the one I can continually watch over and over again.
Elevator fight scene. It's so good.
Everything. Robert Red, like, that entire movie is just
so
like
well crafted.
Yeah, like that's
like Sam was good in that.
Anthony
Mackie.
We got an espionage movie mixed in with an action movie mixed in with a superhero movie. And
yeah,
it's just
it was just...
and everything worked.
It did.
The fight scenes where like Bucky's dropping the knife and like
it was like Terminator.
Yes,
it was like watching a high-speed Terminator. It's like watching a high-speed Terminator fight.
And like the fact that Sebastian Stan learned all, because that was the two of them doing that.
I've watched that scene.
Yeah.
The B-roll footage of that.
Yeah.
I've watched that. That's nuts.
It's so,
like the two of them learning
doing
all of the, and you're going, because it's them, because that's them facing.
So close.
Yeah.
You can't.
There's no faking now.
No. Well, maybe with Sebastian Stan.
Then they still didn't, because that's like they showed him pulling all of that stuff off. But like Black Widow was stellar in that flick.
Yeah. I didn't like her hair. That was
her hair was.
See, and I liked her hair in that movie. I didn't like Widow to me.
I didn't like the consistency of. Oh, she's got curly hair, straight hair.
That's just
curly hair.
That's just the spy thing, though.
And now she's white hair.
That's just the spy shit.
And then she's got orange and white hair.
Yeah.
I'm just like, pick a color, pick a style.
Well, she went blonde because she was in hiding.
Yeah.
And then she didn't cut her hair. So like in Endgame, she just let it grow back out, so you got the natural red back, plus the blonde tips. She frosted her tips.
No, she didn't.
But yeah, so
Winter Soldier is probably easily the best.
It's so good, and that was the first Russo movie too.
Right, and so we've got Thor: Love and Thunder, which
Valkyrie's back.
Valkyrie's back.
Chris Hemsworth is
Chris
back.
Chris Hemsworth is
And the
back.
big news, which I'm still like 50-50 on this
I
one.
think I'm super okay with this. Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman is back.
Natalie Portman is back as her
Jane
character,
Foster.
Jane Foster. And if you know anything about the comics,
Well, they did it at the con. They gave her the hammer.
they gave her. She gets the hammer. She becomes Mighty
I don't
Thor.
know how we get. See, Mjolnir's back.
Yes, that's my ultimate like. That was my takeaway. I'm like, cool. Like we've got Jane Foster as
Multiverse,
as
baby.
the Thor, but like, how does the hammer work?
Multiverse.
And then I remembered. It all
That
ties-
multiverse.
I'm
is
telling you,
gonna-
that movie's going to change
Yeah.
the entire MCU.
Yeah.
Like you, it's
That's what. As soon as I'm like, they gave her Mjolnir. Like they didn't hand her
Yeah.
Stormbreaker. They handed her
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. And it's like, oh wait, there's the multiverse movie. We're fine. It's all gonna make sense.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
She's gonna be in from another universe. She comes in and then
Yeah, like that multiverse movie is like the hammer's either gonna come back or like something.
I
ends
thought
up.
Endgame they brought the hammer back anyways.
No, he has to
Chris
return
Hem-
it.
Yeah, he returns it.
He returns. it.
Right.
He goes back with the hammer to
Oh, we got-
put
have you-
everything back.
Have you seen the
Everything
newest
back.
how it should have ended for
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame? Have you?
Which
We'll
one?
show you.
Maybe I
He
probably.
goes-
It's like
You have
it's like
to-
2 minutes.
Yeah, you have to
It's
go
like-
stab her.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's so good. Anything I should know about these dangerous stunts? Oh no. Oh, you have to stop. Yep.
Steve Rogers. Oh man.
Son of a.
Yeah, this one, like, my only thing with
I'm super
Natalie
ready.
Portman is, like, I don't think she can... She's like my Angelina Jolie. I'm not sure if she can act.
I think she can pull it off.
V for Vendetta, she did great.
I don't compare. I don't use that as a bar for her.
V for Vendetta was good because of everyone else.
That's
Like,
true.
I feel
She's-
like that's most Natalie Portman movies, is everyone else around her.
She was actually as bad as the. Well, I don't want to say the movie Arrival's bad. It was not a very fun movie. No, not Arrival. The other one,
Annihilation.
Annihilation.
See, I haven't seen that one.
Annihilation was incredibly boring, but I think she was actually pretty decent in that.
Okay,
Yeah.
like Black Swan, I feel like she played the same character she played in a lot. Like the not knowing a lot girl who smiles at a lot of things, but is confused by everything else around her, which is Jane Foster.
A bit of my thought process is that if Taika didn't want this to happen,
Yes, and that's my only.
that's my trust. Is like I have
Yeah.
to. I throw my trust in you because you clearly know how to do a Thor film.
Yeah.
Like if this is what you want and
Yes.
if this is what you think you can pull off, I'm putting my faith in you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's exactly it. Is like that's why I'm semi
Like
concerned.
he wouldn't do it if he could.
because everybody else involved, cool.
Yeah.
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 Her involved, I'm like,
Especially when it's known to the public that she had issues
She's not easy to work with.
being in the Thor movies.
And I
yeah,
think-
but everybody had issues back then.
And,
too.
Yeah,
and perhaps like having her film her scene in Avengers Endgame got that ball rolling again. Got them talking with each
Yeah.
other, with her and Feige, her and White Taika,
Yeah.
or whoever. Just being like, can we like settle our differences? We could.
Wouldn't
we
it
could.
be
cool?
We have a
Word.
thing here. You just take a look at this. Screw it.
Yeah, you
Also-
become Thor.
You want to do that? You want to do that?
Well, the
So-
cool part is it's not going to end up like the comics where Thor loses most of his juice and
No.
becomes like, because he's still got Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Like we're going to get Stormbreaker Thor.
I would
and
almost also wager a guess that we're gonna see Beta Ray Bill in this movie.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be cool.
I would
That'd be
love
so
Beta.
cool.
I love Beta Ray Bill. But yeah, so we're getting a cool Thor movie.
Yeah.
They've said that Valkyrie's going to be their first LGBTQ
yeah.
character.
Yes.
As she is going to be bi,
Yes.
I believe is what
And-
they've gone for,
and
because she's searching for her queen.
And who's her name? Who plays Sif? Alexander.
Oh, yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
Has thrown in her hat of be like, I'll come back. For
She
her.
she would have come back before, but she was doing her TV show,
Yes.
which was stupidly popular.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she was in a well-to-do
She was
television
well off.
show.
She was
yeah.
very well off.
It's not like she
but
was
she's-
doing.
But she's thrown her in her hat of like, I don't think she's never not wanted to come back
Yeah.
to Marvel.
Yeah.
It's just now that this opportunity has come up, and we know that this isn't filming yet.
Oh
comes
yeah,
out
this is a ways
2021.
away.
Yeah.
She's
So
gonna
if
make
they
time
want-
for it.
She can talk to her agent.
Yeah.
She can like make these things
Schedule
happen.
stuff.
So
Yeah, I'm kind of glad she was not in the last Thor movie to die like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like this was a good opportunity for like Sif was off-world doing something.
Sif
stupid,
things.
Yeah.
and, she
Sif
was doing.
things.
Well, she appeared in Agents of Shield. Like she clearly went off on her own to do.
yes, that was
things.
so weird. Seeing her in AOS and Agents of Shield for that one episode, it's like, this seems weird.
Yeah,
This
sounded
is
cool.
really
Are
weird.
you supposed to be here?
Yeah. Well, and that was a big piece. Was like, don't tell Thor. Wink, wink, and you're just like.
I'm serious. That's seriously how that line went off.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
just like, but
wouldn't she? She'd tell Thor. Why is she gonna like listen to Coulson when Coulson's like, don't tell Thor? She's like, no, I'm better friends with Thor than I am with you. Like, I owe you nothing, man.
like last time I saw you, you were taking stuff from a city from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, that was the last time they had Sif and Coulson interacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one's a weird one, but
that episode was weird. But like, I would love to see Sif in this movie.
yes.
Like, it makes a lot of sense,
Well, especially with like a new Asgard.
right?
Yeah.
Like, she should be involved in new Asgard.
It could literally be like she comes back, she's like, so I did this thing for Odin, Odin.
Yeah.
It's like. It's the scene,
yeah, she comes back like
it's that scene from Community when Troy walks
Walks
in
in
and
with the
everything's on
pizza,
fire.
yeah.
She's just like, I got the.
Yeah. What happened?
here?
And then the last so
A couple announcements. They've announced the Blade.
they've announced the Blade with Mahershala Ali.
That guy.
He was in Luke Cage, Cottonmouth. He did an amazing job. Like,
oh my god, he was so good in that with the scenes that he was in.
Yeah.
Which
so
was the
him as
first
Blade,
half.
like
I'm just
stoked.
yeah. That's just further adding to the knife of like what
The TV
what
shows
TV
don't-
shows what TV shows as like Kevin
The
Feige
only
stabbing
TV
them.
shows that exist now are the Disney Plus ones.
and Agent Carter.
And Agent Carter. And I think Agent Carter, they were like, it didn't screw enough stuff up for us to, because it's like essentially now that the Netflix deals are done.
Especially with where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going, they're doing a lot of kooky stuff. I can talk about it later, but
Yeah.
it's just like it's getting to the point where those stories need to be acknowledged and addressed because they're doing some big things.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is definitely their like, oh, the Daredevil you liked was in a different multiverse because we're gonna in 2 years do our own.
Yeah.
Like and recast.
Which
well, some of them they can recast. Some of them maybe not so much.
And you know what? If they recast, they recast. Again, we haven't had a point where it's like, oh, that person is not a good version of this hero. Like Charlie Cox did a great job as Daredevil, but if they do recast him, it's not like they're going to be like, oh, we're going to put Ben Affleck in the movie. Although, you know what? I'd take it. Ben Affleck now versus Ben Affleck then, I would take Ben Affleck now as Daredevil.
But then you would have the same issues with Batman.
What?
Where he's so flaky and if he's actually going to do something.
But I think
I
he just needs direction. I think he needs direction.
Well, no, he had some addiction issues.
Yes.
Which have now been resolved, and he's making amends with a lot of, like, that's why
are you saying he's the Robert Downey Jr. for MC or for the DC?
Well, he's not anymore because like they're doing their thing, but like him doing that interview and now being in Jay and Silent Bob rebooted.
Yeah.
Like those two haven't talked in 8 years.
Yeah.
They're now back to being friends.
Yeah.
And it's essentially.
So what you're saying is we can get Matt Damon in the MCU as well.
He's Loki.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's fake Loki.
He's fake Loki.
He's
That's
also-
right.
Which, by the way, I forgot. He plays Loki in Dogma. The Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
I knew
That's
that.
his second appearance as Loki.
I
He
knew
will
that.
now make his third appearance as Loki because he plays Loki in Jay and Silent Bob rebooted.
Yeah, I knew that.
And wasn't he a farmer or one of the hillbillies in Deadpool? Or?
Yes, but that's not MCU. But yeah, he played with Alan Tudyk, the
Yeah.
two of them talking about using
When Cable throws up.
using wet wipes on their butts. Yeah. So
Blade is coming.
Blade is coming.
A good Blade, and again,
It's Phase 5.
Phase 5.
Clearly, everything is Phase 5 from here
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
kind of address.
Yeah.
Feige has officially addressed Fantastic Four.
It'll be coming.
Has addressed Mutants.
It'll be coming.
He addressed Guardians Volume 3.
Yes.
And Black Panther, and what else? I think he said something.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Yes.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, he's addressed all of those. Those are all coming. It's nice for him to finally use the M word and the Fantastic Four word.
I know.
And an official statement.
Well, and he said it before, like that.
He said it before.
They're working on how to get them in, and they're having
Yeah.
fun with how to get them in.
Yeah, but
So-
it's now that we can officially say it.
Yes.
Not just because the ink is dried.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
like
there's
now he's
plans to
official
actually
stuff.
throw
Yeah.
them into, and that's why I say the multiverse movie is going to change
Everything.
a
Everything.
lot.
It's gonna
I am
change.
so excited for Fantastic Four.
Because Fantastic Four, you don't need the multiverse necessarily.
No. They
'cause
can
that
be-
can be.
They can be like, oh, we need like scientists who know a little bit about the multiverse. What's this Reed guy?
Yeah.
Or they've been stuck in the negative zone. Like that's where people are
Anything
kind
at
of
hand.
throwing it. Is like
yeah.
they start in the '60s, they get stuck in the negative zone, and as we know about those different areas.
Well, even just the quantum realm.
But that's what I mean. Like
Quantum
Ant-Man
realm,
got
yeah.
stuck for 5 years, and it was
Instead
like
of
5 minutes.
5 hours for him or whatever.
Whatever it happened to be,
Like
right?
not 5 years.
No. So no time passed. So that's the thing with the Fantastic Four is we can get a Fantastic Four movie where they go into the negative zone in the 60s, and then fight their way out.
It could be something that S.H.I.E.L.D. was working on.
Right.
They were working as S.H.I.E.L.D. scientists.
But they pop back out, and now it's 2023.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
and then you have to read how they get their powers, but that they could easily like, oh, when we
that's traveling through the negative zone, they all of a sudden gain their powers.
Yeah.
Like, Fantastic Four is an easy one to write in.
Mutants
Mutants is a
gonna
little
be
tougher
difficult.
because
That's been dragged through the dirt a little bit, so they need to touch on. They have to be very careful how
you mean
they.
the lowest grossing X-Men movie to date.
We don't talk about that.
For the DVD release, they're actually putting X-Men back. In the theaters, it was just called Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
The DVD and Blu-ray release has X-Men as the main title again. X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Of course.
To try and bolster sales, and it's
Yeah.
like that's gonna be like Hellboy, where if they drop it for $15 on Google Play, I'll be like, well, now I have to watch this train wreck. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the mutants and the X-Men, they need to tread lightly. I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
They
really
can't-
hope
They can't force it.
No.
no, and I
They need to
honestly
do a good
feel
job.
like Multiverse of Madness, the fact that Scarlet Witch is involved, that's where we're gonna get mutants.
Yeah.
I can see it. I
Or
don't know.
the- like,
I don't know yet.
The
We don't-
introduction to a little bit of them, not like a grand expanse of like Logan shows up in that show.
It's Hugh Jackman.
No,
It's Hugh Jackman.
I want a different one.
Oh, Taron Egerton.
I saw that someone
Oh.
was going for him, and I'm like,
I can see that.
he's still not short and stocky enough for me.
Are you gonna ever get anyone that's short and stocky though?
I don't know.
Danny
I gotta
DeVito.
find some- No, too short and stocky. You've gone too far.
Too old.
Too rotund.
You've gone too far in that direction.
He's old man.
He can play cannonball.
Cannonball.
But yeah, so Fantastic Four, X-Men coming.
Yes, official.
Definitely Black Panther and
Obviously, yes.
yeah, Captain
Someone,
Marvel.
Yeah.
someone did a really, really good mock-up. I think it was like Boss Logic did a mock-up of the next Black Panther movie
Mhm.
and had the two kings logo on it and
Okay.
had a trident
Yeah.
going through the logo. And I'm like, that would be a very good tie-in if they figure that out.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they can figure that one.
If they figure that out, that would be the one character to tie that in.
Yeah.
And that deal might work the same as the Hulk one, where they can put him in their own films. He will just never get his own.
Namor.
Yeah.
Namor will just never get his own flick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but yes.
But if they can work him into other people's movies, the same as the Hulk's been
Because
working.
Namor's like the guy.
He's Aquaman of the MCU.
Yeah.
But like historically, their first character.
Oh
Wasn't
yeah,
it?
like
Wasn't Namor historically the Marvel's first character?
I don't remember.
I
He's
think-
big though. Like I mean, he's
Like-
in the Illuminati. He's in all of that stuff. And that's the next piece is if they can get him back, they have Professor X back. Like the Illuminati becomes a thing where all of a sudden there's these high-powered superheroes,
Mm-hmm.
you
behind
know,
the scenes.
behind the scenes other than Black Bolt, because you know
We don't.
we don't talk about the
We don't
Inhumans,
talk about them.
but they can replace him with someone from the Eternals. Like
I would love to see, what was the dog's name again? I would love to see him more than Black Bolt.
Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. I would love to see him. That dog's awesome.
He teleports people around.
Yeah, that's the coolest ability.
Well, and that's the next piece is technically the new Miss Marvel in the comics is an Inhuman,
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna spin that. If they're gonna.
or if they just ignore the Inhuman part of her and like
But Inhumans exists. It's so weird. It's so.
they exist in Agents of Shield, which is not part of the MCU.
I don't
It's
understand. it.
part of. Agents of Shield to
It's-
itself is part of the MCU,
Yes.
but to Agents or to MCU,
At this point,
Agents
season
of
six,
Shield is
season
not.
6 onwards, it's very much its own thing. It's its own amazing thing,
Yeah,
but its own thing.
yeah, because the movies have never.
They've never once addressed. Oh, remember Coulson? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Remember Shield? Oh yeah.
Like the amount of stuff that happens on Agents of Shield, you cannot tell me that Iron Man does not know Coulson is doing things.
But he found Spider-Man.
He found Spider-Man,
But he
and
couldn't
they
find Coulson.
released all of the agents, like all
All
of the
the
Shield files at the
docs.
end of Captain, like,
Winter
and it's
Soldier.
like, of Winter Soldier, and it's like you can't tell me that Robert Downey Jr. doesn't have like a Google search function in his stuff looking for Coulson.
Yeah.
He might not. I don't know.
He's right. He's the Iron Man. Of course he does. He can find Spider-Man. He would know Coulson's alive.
I know.
Yeah.
There's so many like plot holes and like just don't poke at Agents of Shield. Like,
No, that's why Agents of Shield to me it is. It's like
It's
1891999. Like it's one universe off.
And who knows? We don't know what they're doing with the last couple of episodes in last season.
Yeah.
We could face that situation where they retcon the entirety of the show.
Sure.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. That was just one of those unfortunate pieces where heads of studios didn't get along well enough to make things.
Yeah.
Because there was something special in that show.
Well, there was something, like especially when Winter Soldier happened.
They
and
very much followed through with it.
They had to follow, and you're like, how's the show gonna? And
that was one of the
people turned, and you're like,
yes, they did. They
Ward
did.
is Ward is Hydra.
Ward is Hydra. We've got Nick Fury appearing in the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what is happening? So yeah, like
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. went for it, and then the MCU never reciprocated.
Yeah. It's like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sent a dick pic. The MCU didn't respond. We can do this.
So either way, we all get to be excited about Marvel for the next 4 years.
4 years.
Again.
Because there's nothing on this docket that's like, oh.
Yeah. And I think there's some people out there who are getting sick and tired of movies, but...
In my opinion, like, probably the Hawkeye is the... Like, I don't know what they do.
Yeah, that's
and it'll be a fun show.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, unless they introduce something, like, wildly, like...
I think they go West Coast.
West Coast Avengers,
yeah.
that's the only thing I think of.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool.
Easy enough. And again, 8 episodes and you're done.
Yeah.
Or 4 episodes and you're done.
And the nice thing about the Disney Plus service, much like Netflix is, depending on how popular it is, they can spin off and do some more episodes, or that could be it.
Yeah. That's the nice piece about Hawkeye is he's training
the next Hawkeye.
The next Hawkeye. So even if Jeremy Renner's not in, like if Hawkeye does well enough as a series, season 2 can just have.
It's also worth noting that Phase 4 does not end in an Avengers film.
No, it does not.
It's the first phase that...
No team up.
No team up, unless something drastic happens in Thor. But there's no official Avengers titled film.
I feel like
I think okay.
I think that's okay.
Like after Endgame, like they did a lot of stuff in that.
Everyone needs a break.
Movies.
Well, then we're getting Thor. Like it's not like we're ending on
and
Hawkeye. No. Like we're ending on Thor. It's going to be a big.
It's going to be
That's going to set up.
And you guys are right. Like we don't know. Like maybe this could change.
Oh
they might get.
I feel like there's another couple ticks in there that we're not seeing.
Like we might get a proper Venom. We might get. I'm hopeful. I liked Venom as a kid, so I'm super okay with having we might have Sinister Six in here somewhere.
That I would be more excited
for. We don't know.
I would be so excited for.
I think we still need another Spider-Man movie before we get Sinister Six.
But as soon as that's done, we lose Spider-Man.
We won't lose Spider-Man. They've set up too hardcore with Far From Home.
I know they have
to lose Spider-Man at this point, and I think that was the big piece is. Like Captain Marvel was supposed to be leading the charge into like the next phase of stuff,
and financially it was not.
Well, no, it did. It crossed a bill.
Yes,
like it crossed $1 billion, but the reception of her,
Brie Larson did more damage to herself than
sort of, and not really. Like only if
I feel like on social media she was pretty much like a rah rah rah. Like
if you read into anything she did, it was legitimately like I would like to see more women and people of color doing interviews instead of. Just white guys, and it's like.
And then you look at the slate.
Well, and that's the piece is like her remark was, I just want to see more people, not that like half the room should leave and then people should fill in. Just make the room bigger, and actually have women and people of color.
Like we might get Captain Marvel sequel in here somewhere.
We might.
We don't know.
But yeah, like the fact that I think they're leading Spider-Man more as like the new Avengers leader, doing the whole. Tony Stark stuff and all of that in the Far From Home movie, like he is going to become the next phase. Yeah,
I'm interested to see I think if anything's going to happen with that, it'll be the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah.
If Sam's picking up the shield.
Oh yeah.
Like that'll be the next how handles it.
Yeah.
Will determine where the Avengers are going next.
Yeah. The end of Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be interesting. Like Winter Soldier, does he go back to Wakanda? Because I can see.
Because technically he's not Winter Soldier. That was my other question. Is like,
yeah.
Like I thought they changed
the White Wolf.
Yeah, they changed him to the White Wolf.
Wakanda people call him White Wolf.
Oh right.
Okay,
right.
so maybe
still...
he's okay. So he's still. I guess that would make sense because he's been in Wakanda.
Yeah.
For how many years?
Yeah.
So that doesn't. That meant.
And like Wakanda doesn't. Well, they now talk to the outside world, but it's not like we've got the White Wolf. So when he appears back in the world, people are going to be like, "Oh,
The Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier's back."
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, the Winter Soldier's back.
Yeah. Oh no.
And then Wakanda's like, the White Wolf is back.
Yay!
It's just deeply confusing.
Wakanda forever.
But yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be a fun show.
Mm-hmm. Of all the shows, that's
Well, because it's going to be the buddy cop show, because the way that they interacted in.
But I just like I just like those two actors together.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Like,
so
the two of them together are.
They bounce off really well.
They're so much fun.
Be the better Lethal Weapon show.
Right, like it's going to. It is. It's
Yes.
lethal. It's Lethal Weapon, but made by Marvel. Yeah.
I'm too
With
old
cooler
for it.
stuff.
Bucky will say the line.
I'll do over that shit.
Which, not wrong.
No, he's old.
Not wrong.
He's old.
So yeah, MCU still going strong. DC did not show up.
Oops, surprises. Well, they didn't have anything. They didn't want to.
They have nothing.
Yeah, they've got Wonder Woman.
They got Wonder Woman coming out, and then nothing slated. The DC television show people showed up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Brendan Ruth is going to be playing Superman.
Well, I saw that.
They're doing their big.
Oh yeah,
They're doing their big
I
crossover
heard
It's
event.
about
the Crisis on Multiple Earths or something.
So now that they have Batwoman as a show, there is
Yeah.
going to be a 5-night crossover event
I
that is split into. They're doing like 3, and then they're taking a break, and then they're opening like the after winter. Like there's that winter break.
like,
they do
okay,
now.
so are they doing like they're not doing their own shows then?
What?
Like Arrow's not going to do their own show. Flash isn't doing their own show.
It's just going to be a 5-night crossover. So
Like-
like instead of Arrow that night, you're going to
It'll be
get
that.
Arrow,
or
but-
the Crisis
on Infinite Earths. Yeah.
which I think is very cool. But I think yes, I read that.
Yes,
With
Brendan Ruth gets
as
to play
Superman. Yeah.
Superman, the
And-
darker Superman. Like he's going to
Yeah.
play bad guy Superman. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I'm just
super
like.
what? Is
I was hoping
happening?
for that the last time when they showed all the people in different costumes. I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity to put Brendan Ruth in a Superman costume. What's wrong with you people? They did it.
They did it.
Like, kudos to them. As much as those shows go like up and down in quality, every once in a while you're just like,
They do something like
that is a
this, like-
stellar idea, guys. Way to
Yeah.
be.
Like
like-
they've referenced Batman so many times that they should just do him.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't pulled
Like
that
they
one off.
name drop him so many times.
Well, especially with Batwoman in the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they've given us Superman. Like, we've had Superman and
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Which
Yeah.
I like the new Superman that
Yeah.
they've done. Like they cast a really good Superman.
Yeah, and that's why Brendan Ruth versus, like, with, like, playing off of each other are going to be fun.
And-
Brendan Ruth playing off of himself is going to be kind of interesting because, like they've said, Ray Palmer's still going to be
Yeah, he's a very integral part of the.
like he's
Legends
going to
team.
be
Yeah.
in the show, so it's going to be Ray Palmer and Superman, Brendan Ruth playing both of them, so that's exciting.
Editing is going to be great.
Ah.
They're already doing all these crazy effects for this massive crossover. Why not just add?
Supergirl's getting pants.
Yeah.
And the only other thing out of San Diego Comic-Con that I've really paid attention to was Jay and Silent Bob rebooted. Cause,
We talked about that.
Yeah, like, oh my god, the amount of stuff going on in that movie
Yeah,
is...
there's a lot of stuff happening.
And then he said he's going to write Clerks 3.
Oh, awesome.
I'm sure that was coming eventually.
Well, he wrote Clerks 3, and the guy who played Randall didn't like it, so he refused to be in it. And now Kevin Smith looks at it going like, oh yeah, it was kind of a dark movie full of death and like this, and like it was not fair to those
It's
characters.
not fair. Yeah.
And he's like, so I'm going to rewrite it. But there is a Clerks 3... Essentially, Jay and Silent Bob rebooted is like mini movies within the movie.
Yeah.
So when you got Ben Affleck back, so Ben Affleck did that interview that said, like, have you been called about Jay and Silent Bob rebooted? And Ben Affleck goes, no, but I'd be willing to do it. And then Kevin Smith was just like, oh, he's just being nice for an interview. And people were like, no, like, call him.
Mhm.
So he did. He texted him, like, with a thing. And
Yeah.
they replied, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I'm willing to come and do this thing. Kevin Smith was like, I will, like, I can write you, and like all the scenes are filled. You know, Val Kilmer's playing Blunt Man, Melissa Benoist, who is Supergirl, is playing Chronic as like the. He's like, I can put you in the back of like the Blunt Cave sort of thing. Like, we can get you in. And he's like, unless he'd be willing to come back as Holden, which was his character from Chasing Amy. And he's like, yeah, like that, I would love that.
Yeah.
And so Kevin Smith wrote him 8 pages of dialogue. And Ben Affleck gets the script and calls him and goes, you know I haven't done this much dialogue in any of the last 3 movies I've done combined.
Yeah.
Like, this is more dialogue than I've had in years.
I'm old now.
Ben Affleck showed up and had the entire thing memorized.
Wow.
After a week.
Oh, good for him.
Good for him.
So there's a Chasing Amy sequel within Reboot. There's a Clerks sequel within Reboot. There is a Dogma sequel within Reboot.
So Jay and Silent Bob is the...
It's the visiting of all of the things that Kevin Smith has
they
ever
can
done.
totally do it because it's like them going to San Diego Comic-Con.
They're going to Cron. And then I've got to... Oh no, there we go. Okay, we got that back. And then I just got to do this.
I don't understand why this says Yeti microphone. It's not plugged in.
Oh, because we're probably going off of that this whole time. Deactivate. Activate.
I can't see.
There we go. And yes, I can change this. Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's not properties. Yeah, it's going off the webcam.
Ah. Cool.
Done.
Done.
Now it's on the Yeti.
Now it's hello.
Now you can hear us the way we were supposed to be heard the entire time. But yeah, other than Kevin Smith, I haven't really been paying attention to most of the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the MCU.
I mostly paid attention to it.
Well, yeah, the MCU was big. Like, it was all over the news. The Boys.
The
Oh, yeah,
Amazon
yeah.
show.
The Amazon show.
I've heard about that. I need to...
I have Prime. I've been watching Prime. We'll talk about that in the post-credit show, but I have not watched The Boys yet because I was like, I'm going to start on something else. Because they have officially, Prime has Chromecast support.
Aye.
So I can watch it before I go to bed now.
Cool.
As opposed to trying to navigate it on my smart TVs, which is junk. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Either way,
All right. Thanks for watching.
join us on the post-credit show.
We talk about movies and games and things we've done, I guess, through the past week or so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching. Bye.